everybody. For the second time for us, the first time for you, welcome to the show.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our very, very special stream. It was for members only and members of the Fucked Up Club.
We don't even know where it went. We went live, played the intro for you guys, said, hey, welcome to the show. And we could tell by the live chat there was something wrong. And Dunk's YouTube wasn't showing us live, but YouTube Studio for me was showing us live. And so we just stopped and tried again, and it worked this time. So
You haven't accidentally streamed to Slavy's channel or something?
No, I deleted that thing before starting, you know. That's funny because there is one of our pub chats up on her channel for that very reason.
Oh, dear.
She didn't even realize it for a day, but there was the odd comment she was getting that didn't quite make sense. It was really funny.
Well, she's left it up there.
Yeah.
She's stealing our content. The fact you gave it to her on a silver platter is neither here nor there.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Yeah, I sent it over willingly. So what are you gonna do?
Do you get one of those things in YouTube Studio saying your video has been used on another channel, copyright claim? It's like, well, no, we sent it there.
Speaking of which, dude, do you remember a way back in the debunking Shills days? Oh, wait a minute. We have some leftover super chats from the end of the Saturday show to get caught up on first. The show was right near the end. I have a strict time limit where I got to get back to parenting, regardless of if we go late or not. I have a time limit. And some of the crew on the show were a little bit over chatty and goodbyes, and I was getting a little angsty, and a couple of people's things got missed. But so first off, we did close out the hashtag not pierogi fund during that stream. So thanks everybody. We actually went a little bit over. So I told them to just put it into the next fundraiser. It was $365 if I am correct. But if I go to my list here, there was Darren Vaughn had a $5 super chat in, which was wishing Commander McMillan well in his recovery. Don't know if I got to that one, but I do know that I had gotten up to RC William, because I remember RC. I wonder if it's remote control, if he's an RC guy. So we'll start with Darren Vaughn. Wish you well in your recovery, Commander. That was the first one. We had Rush Zinzia, you know, the dude with the capitals and lower case letters in the name. So I'm never sure how to truly pronounce it. Rashizia C. Greetings from Malaysia. Trump said President Zelensky is the best salesman, while Trump is selling Bible, coins, sneakers, watches, all made in China. That was a comment I wanted to get to. I remember reading it, but then everybody got me distracted, right? There was a $20 tip that came in anonymously, and I do remember at the time I had to go through the list when the tips come through. They come through PayPal from Stream Elements or Streamlabs, and it was Danny Carver. That was a $20 tip as well. So another boom here. And then there was Darren Vaughn for a second one, which is a $50 super chat. And that was to help finish out the fund, which at that time had actually just finished. So that's pretty much the reason we got over. Then there was, so that was Darren Vaughn. Again, that was...
very generous.
Yeah, $50 shout, right? Yeah. And then we had a couple of member messages that came in, but there was also a direct donation from... Sorry, that was a beer burp. You didn't want any part of that. There was a $20. Oh, Dunk on You 23 did a direct tip just as the show ended. It was Mr. Stream today. Life got in the way. So that put us at like $65 over or whatever it was. So I gave that to the owners of the deli bakery so they could just put it into their next fundraiser, because every time one closes, they just do the next one anyway, right?
You should point out it's for a Ukrainian. It's not stocking up on croissants.
Yeah. No, this was their latest drone fundraiser. So we put in the last 315 to close it out, as well as $65 to their next one.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see here. The list is extra thanks to Darren Vaughn with a couple on that show. So big thanks there. Dunk on You 23, Raziznia C, RC William, Bobby, Darren Vaughn again, Vocek Fickus, Petra Olson, and Mr. Nobody for that stream. So thanks, everybody. Good shouts.
Yeah, it's a shame you missed them, because it's not normally like you to miss the some of the super chats.
I don't normally. I'm usually pretty organized, but I didn't leave myself a mark in a text document like I usually do, saying that I hadn't finished yet. And just in the holy shit, I got to wrap this thing up thing, I missed a couple.
Yeah. Everybody shut up.
Well, nobody's perfect. I never claimed to be, that's for sure.
Hey, talking of which, did you wear Sergeant Buckchuck out? Because is he having the night off?
Hey, where the fuck is his punk ass? What's going on here?
Somebody wake up Buckchuck.
Yeah, where is he? His file seems to be not found. Okay, one second here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see if I can fix that.
He's run away.
Uh-oh. Wonder where he is.
I will let him have the night off, but we'll find him again.
Oh. Look at that. I was moving files around for that file sync that we're doing in the background, and I guess I forgot to fix all of the associations in OBS. Sorry, Buckchuck. Take your station there, son.
We thank you for your service.
Indeed. I've almost got him trained to do beer runs, so I'm pretty excited about this.
I wouldn't. You know what he's like. He'll drink more of it than he brings back.
Send him off for 12, comes back with 2, staggering in the door. So, there's some things I wanted to get to, of course. Sometimes we do that onesimplewish.org little fundraiser thing.
Yeah.
I found one here today. It's for a kid named Andrew, and he's hoping to have a little tricycle to open on Christmas Day. If you don't know what One Simple Wish is, it's a place where foster parents can put up a little, it would be really helpful if we had an extra few bucks to get the child this, and people like us can just go, hey, there's the cash, go get him a tricycle, right? It's a really cool service. And it's $90 American. So we'll do the math in the background and figure out how much that is in Canadian, but maybe we could buy somebody their, Christmas tricycle today. Little one's 1 year old, lives in Pennsylvania.
How did you know how to fill out the web page to make this request?
Certified genius. Oh yeah. Yeah, in his short life, he has worked on techniques to keep the ISS alive for longer. And he right now is working with SpaceX on a new way of catching the rockets using a very, very large baseball glove. So it's looking promising.
He's probably sending Elon drawings of the robo-taxi in crayon, and Elon is copying it directly.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So.
But having said that, congratulations to Elon's team at SpaceX today. was absolutely fucking amazing to see that great big booster come down and being captured on the launch pad. But the chopsticks, it was absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I know. I know. It was it's if you're like me, I was born in 70, so I'm not really a child of the Apollo era days, but you know, it wasn't long. Like when I was 5-6 years old, I would see footage that was, you know, wasn't that old, right? You know what I mean? And to see the era of the Apollo rockets, and then you see now they can just like catch the part. Like it's unbelievable what SpaceX is doing. It's you can tell that Musk stays the fuck out of the company's business and just lets it run because it works.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, because I mean, it was amazing when they had the boosters that came back and landed, and yeah, that was awesome to see. But this thing, this is the size of the first stage of an Apollo rocket.
Yeah,
and they just like catch it in, you know, little kid gloves on the side of the.
Yeah, it's like catching the Empire State Building, right?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Although I was thinking that like once they've got it there, you know, and it's dangling off this crane, and they go, oh shit, now what do we do with it?
Yeah.
I can't just let it go.
Well, true. Darren Vaughn's in the chat now. I was just told in the background he wasn't earlier, but we just did all the shout outs and whatnot from that were missed at the end of Saturday's show. That's yesterday, right? Yes, it is.
He saw us doing that.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure because he's one of the people that got missed. So,
yeah,
you know,
he knows.
Yeah.
And he's coming round to give you a damn good spanking.
You better have nice breasts, Darren.
For $50, he gets a big back.
Yeah, with my luck, he's the kind of guy that likes to spank somebody with a backwards dildo ring in his hand.
Yeah, puts nails in it.
Oh, motherfucker. I had an idea for a little bit of chatter. Let me wet my whistle from my Coca-Cola fridge. 1 second. Characters in TV shows or movies that, although seem to be either really well written as a character or portrayed very well by a talented actor, that didn't get their due in more ways, more scripts, more times on screen and things like that. You know what I'm getting at?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, so not necessarily main characters, just like other characters in the show that didn't quite make it.
Right. And I put up the tent peg for this entire category as Lieutenant Barclay from Next Generation.
Oh, Barclay! I think they gave him too much.
Oh no, that as an actor, if you go back and watch when he's like stumbling idiot Barclay, and then he gets all suave because that thing takes him over and he becomes Mr. Confident Barclay, and then he has to play scared Barclay because of the transporters and stuff. Dude had range as an actor, and I think he could have done more.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, okay, I know, I get that totally, and I bet he wasn't cheap because he is, you know, he's up there as far as TV actors are concerned. But I would imagine it's one of those sorts of situations where I think he was in too often because he was just like an extra character. But I think the writers loved him.
I think he should have been,
and they would, if they had the opportunity, they would have written him in a lot more.
I think he should have been literally like cast member 8 episodes a season after his first couple appearances. I don't see why they didn't do it. I'm one of those guys. Yeah,
I would have loved to have seen a spin-off, just his own show.
And
Yeah, just
also,
like Fraser Kane, from Cheers, having his own show. I'd have loved to see Barkley do that, and it could have even been like a Star Trek sitcom.
but here's the thing: Barkley gave Geordie more purpose.
He was a better friend to Geordie than most others.
Yeah, like
everybody else was a git to him.
Geordie literally had bugger all to do on the show, except, well, I'm sure we could do it, Captain, but it's going to take some time. It's literally his whole thing. Or, sorry, Captain, but everything hit the walls and it's all fucked. I don't know,
And I'm too busy trying to get a girlfriend and nobody loves me.
Yeah. Oh, man, his whiny chick episodes. Oh, they suck balls. But
maybe just everybody's racist in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, they hate blind people.
Yeah, a blind black man. Come off it. In the 23rd century, 24th century.
Yeah, remember the one episode, though? They found a planet of people that were supposed to be genetically perfect, and nobody like Geordie would have ever been born. But it turns out that technology from his visor is what helped them save the planet. And that was a pretty ironic, sort of situation to be in, right?
Yeah, they like to do that with Star Trek, don't they? Yeah, teach you a lesson from on high.
Yeah. Okay, so
our morals are better than yours. Oh, go on.
I was gonna do the first super chat we had, but I wasn't quite sure of what I was about to say, and I was trying to figure out a way to make it sound like I actually knew what I was talking about when I didn't. But then the second super chat came in that fixed the first super chat, so I don't have to do that anymore. Now I actually understand. So, but we'll do them both because it's pretty funny. Darren Vaughn comes in with a $5 super chat. I do have nice bread. Bread?
Delicious.
And then he came on with a second one. Breasts, that is.
They're not his own.
Yeah.
He scalped them off his victim.
His phone knows so much about him. He put, I do have nice. And it was like, it can't be breasts. It's got to be something different.
Yeah. He does have a massive baguette.
Oh, that's funny. But hey, thanks, Darren. That was awesome. Oh, too funny. So yeah, what other characters didn't get their sort of due?
Oh, that is a tough one.
I got another one, but it's totally his own fault.
Well, you've been thinking about it, so
no, I only thought of that one. Thought of that one.
Go on then.
Crispin Glover, as it pertains to the entire Back to the Future trilogy. Because the trilogy would have been written different if he wasn't such a jerk in contract negotiations that he got himself written out of the movies.
Yeah, so is it fair to say that he didn't get his dues because he kind of did?
Yeah, well, you see what I mean, but as an actor and in the whole thing and whatnot, he's badass for that, right? It's terrible what happened, but I understand it because. Sadly, as good as he is in the franchise, he's not Marty McFly or Doc Brown. Right? That's kind of how it goes. Hulk Hogan could be in the movie, and if he's the star, he's going to get paid more than you.
I must admit, I can't really think of anything Crispin Glover's been in apart from Back to the Future.
Well, he literally got pushed away from Hollywood for years until he got onto American Gods as one of the characters. That's the first time I saw him in anything popular.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a confusing mess of a series.
I started watching that show, and because I lost track a little bit, there's so many details that I was like, I'll get back to it later, and I still haven't.
Yeah, you'll never will. You never will.
Oh, I think I might with that one because it was pretty fucking interesting. It's just that I didn't want to be lost on, what was going on. Joe Medley in the chat, $35 super chat for the trike. Huge shout, Joe. Thank you very much. Awesome. Oh, yes.
Let's throw it out to the chat. Anybody out there who can think of any characters? You know, you're allowed to play too. You know.
Yeah.
I'm just having a think, please.
You know, it's a neat thought. You know, it's not normal.
Yeah.
I'm
also trying to think of shows I can talk to you about that you'd actually fucking know.
That's true. That's true.
I could talk about characters from Doctor Who and it'd be completely wasted on you.
Yeah, I would have no idea.
Kind of wasted on me as well. I mean, I don't care, but but they did do a thing on Doctor Who where they'd have like a part, some character in the series, and they end up, you know, getting either their own show, their own, you know, another series. You know, some of the Doctor's companions. Well, one of them had her own show, and then another one, K9. Remember the little robot dog? He had his own bloody show for a while.
Really? K9, the calculator that comes to you. Like what? I don't know.
Kids loved him. He was cute. Yeah.
Yeah. I know a few people over here in North America have built full size replicas, and they go around to the little retro computer shows with them and everything, and people go wild. And
well, like I told you before, I made one out of cardboard that fitted over the top of a remote control tank I had.
Yeah,
and just like drive it around.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know,
not for long, because it took like 3 D-cell batteries that lasted about 5 minutes.
Yeah. I remember my first remote control car when I was maybe 8 years old or something. So 1978. I would fill it with the batteries that cost about a third as much as the car, and I'd get to play with it for like 20 minutes, and then my parents would be like, "Yeah, maybe next week."
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Oh God, we could have done with NiCads or even just alkaline batteries, because they weren't even alkaline back then, were they? They were just like these shitty, just like crappy batteries that just didn't last very long at all.
I remember early 80s. We went into a Radio Shack store so my dad could get me some floppy disks, I think it was. And the early Radio Shack branded rechargeable batteries were on the shelf. And it didn't take much convincing for my dad to go, yeah, I'll take 16 double A's and 8 triple A's and a bunch of he bought it was a lot of money's worth of rechargeables. But holy, did it make my life awesome.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, yeah.
It was still a pain in the ass to sit and wait. From to charge up.
Sure.
But also, even fully charged, they didn't last as long as a normal battery.
No, but they were also only 1.35 instead of 1.5 volts.
Yeah.
Right. So, my RC car, you could tell it was like a tiny bit slower and wouldn't last as long, but I could play every day,
Yeah. Things have come a long way since then.
Oh, yeah. My God, the rechargeable battery count in my house right now, I must have 32 double A's, at least 16 triple A's, and some D cells and whatnot. Oh my God!
But I don't bother with double A's and triple A's because they're so cheap. They're so cheap now. Just to buy a pack of them.
My son's got a couple of fly drone toys, and if we put crappy batteries in the transmitter remotes, the range is dramatically lower, right? Yeah. I spent like $130 or whatever it was on Energizer branded rechargeable batteries, a whole whack of them. And for years they were good, but they started to die a bit. So I bought a brand that was on Amazon and rated really good as 2800, if you don't know the good ones, right? And they're not as good as they should be, but they don't suck for the $30 they were or whatever,
Yeah.
But I can't stand the idea of continuously buying batteries when rechargeables last like 4 years if they get decent ones,
Yeah, I seem to be, if I think about it, all the stuff I put batteries in they're like really low voltage use anyway, or current use.
Right,
So,
like remotes and stuff.
So they last for fucking forever anyway. You really don't care whether they're rechargeable or not.
Oh, one thing I'll say is if I use off-brand rechargeables in the Apple Magic Trackpad that I have, I noticed that it's not as responsive and whatnot. But if I use my energy, and they only last like 5 days. But if I put the Energizer ones in, they last like 30 days, and the thing is as good as it would be in a laptop, right?
Oh, that's because they're Chinese batteries. And Chinese electricity works differently on a quantum level.
That's funny. Yeah, there's some kind of math equation in there that makes it not as good.
That's all the bloody Chinese writing in it, so how the hell am I supposed to understand that?
Yeah. Well, speaking of something like that, it's funny when you go back to like late 50s France, the 2CV, the classic French car that looks like a VW Bug that's just been sliced so it's flat on the sides. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the one. It's called the 2CV, which is the 2 chevaux, and it's literally 2 horsepower, but it's not horsepower the way we rate it now. Right?
I didn't realize that's where the name comes from.
Yeah, that's what it is. 2 horsepower. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, except it has more like, I think, 18 or 24 horsepower by the way we rate it now.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say, it depends on the size of the horse, I suppose.
Yeah. Cool car, though, because it had that unbelievable suspension going on, right? That was, if you don't know what I mean, it was just this Volkswagen Bug-looking car, but it had this unbelievable suspension system where the goal was you could put a basket of eggs on the passenger seat and drive the car through a farmer's field and not break an egg. And it literally is that good. It's like the most comfortable suspension system. You could be on the worst rutted back road and you feel like you're in a Rolls Royce. The car just boom.
I will have to disagree with you there. You certainly do not feel like you're in a Rolls Royce.
Okay, but you know what I mean. Like, it's for a car in the 50s, engineered way back in the day. It's freaking amazing what they did.
It was funny. Just an upturned pram.
But you get it in the corners and you can get it doing this at 20 mile an hour, right? Because it's so soft and stuff,
Yeah, very, very wallowy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not a safe car at modern highway speeds. Oh, dear God.
They had the gear. Was it the 2CV that had the gear stick on the dashboard?
A few French ones did, yeah.
Little golf club, sticking out the front.
Yeah.
I've always thought that was just odd. But
go back in time. The French have a history of crazy oddball designs. Some of them absolutely fantastic, others a little questionable, but it was their thing. And they did this with engineering as well. The way they engineered suspension systems for like the later Citroen, what are they called? The SM and the CX and the spheres, the green spheres that were the springs in the suspension. That was licensed out by Mercedes and Rolls Royce, and they had this amazing history of just doing things differently. And as far as automotive goes, at least, that's gone now. Their cars are just also ran by big companies. They don't stand out anymore. They're not different,
Yeah, I did like the sleek design of those old Citroens. And the cool thing about them, because it had that kind of air suspension system, when you switch the car off, they're just like snake to the ground.
Yeah. Or if you're driving along and all of a sudden you notice your friend lives on a dirt gravel road, you just grab that lever, pull it, She goes up an inch and a half or so, and away you go. That's brilliant, man.
Yeah, I've got that on my Land Cruiser. It's called active suspension.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's a much more complicated, more expensive system than when it goes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What you call a Land Cruiser over here, we can only get badged as a Lexus. And that just means, you need a starter. Well, the Toyota one's $180, but yours is a Lexus. That will be $490, sir. Right? Because that's what they do. You know.
Yeah, I can get quite a bunch of third-party parts for my Land Cruiser over here. It's pretty good. Not always. Sometimes you have to go back to the original source.
A lot of the parts, though, you can part number match back to other Toyota parts because they are actually the same parts that go into other Toyota vehicles, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe not the hubs and stuff because, of course, yours is the Land Cruiser, but there's going to be a lot of Toyota in it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I found out in my recent soiree into repairing microwaves and fridges.
Yeah,
it's a Maytag fridge. Oh, what you mean an LG?
Yeah.
No, it's not LG. Oh, it's a Panasonic. It's like well, my Neff microwave's got a Panasonic part in it. Oh, okay, fine, fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's Westinghouse. What? Yeah. But that's what these companies just share this shit around, man, and it's unbelievable. Yeah. I learned that fixing the first time I had a dryer break. I figured out it was the high temperature sensor. I figured it out because of the internet, right? So I just bypassed it manually so I could use the dryer, but I would only use it for 15 minutes at a time so it wouldn't get too hot, high temperature sensor, right? I ordered one online, put it in myself, but when I was trying to find the part I was finding was matching all these other companies, not the one I had, right? And I couldn't figure it out until I finally read in a forum. The reason that's happening is because everybody's using the same stuff. Half of the products you have 5 different names to them. And then I realized it's worse than cars with the badge engineering, you know? Oh, man.
Hey, going back to the batteries, we've got a highlighted question in the chat. Anybody keep batteries in the freezer?
Oh, I remember that trick from back in the day for sure.
What's that? Keep them longer?
Batteries that were starting to feel the strain of wearing out. If you put them in the freezer, it seemed to give them the ability to push the electricity out a bit faster again so that the device didn't feel tired, like a Walkman playing a bit slow or something. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
If we had batteries that were going a bit deady, I'd put them on the radiator to warm them up.
I wonder if it's just about changing the state. You know? Electron transfer, you know.
Do I look like a quantum physicist?
Well, not standing in that swamp, you don't. Yeah, I wonder what that is, though. You know, because it's obviously something to do with the change of state. If cold or hot seems to produce the effect, or is that just placebo? Just simply giving them a rest was actually what they needed. I wonder. Yeah. Yeah, we need a Star Trek holodeck so we can recreate Einstein in a few and they could argue it out for us and let us know. Mo, we need Michael Faraday. I think he'd be the guy for this one.
Let's just go with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, because he could go back in time and figure it out for sure. Okay. So what else is happening in the world?
Oh, hey, another assassination attempt on Trump yesterday.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah, because I didn't know this until pre-show when you mentioned it, and we had 4 minutes before we went live. So what's the deal on this?
I have absolutely zero details whatsoever. I got nothing to tell you apart from...
he's not the best in the industry for nothing, folks.
No, all I heard, I mean, it was literally as I was trying to join Dick, and I was having technical issues anyway, but Yeah, no. Apparently, some guy was arrested at a rally on Saturday who was walking around with a shit ton of guns, which is kind of like normal for people in America anyway. So I don't know what the problem. I don't know what the problem is there, but yeah, but no, they. I don't understand this because they seem to question him and they sort of said, "Are you here to kill Trump?" And he said, "Yes." And they go, "Right, you're under arrest." Why?
Seriously?
I don't. Well, I don't know. That's what I seem to get from the details. It's like when they questioned him, and he said he was going to get there to kill Trump. Why would you even admit to that? It's like, no. I'm a gun collector. I'm just carrying my collection with me. I take them everywhere. They're my best friends. I don't know. But yeah, no. That's breaking news off the hot off the desk, and everyone's going to bugger off now to go and find out what was going on.
Yeah, well, here, his name was Vern Miller, 49 years old. Caught at a checkpoint about a quarter mile from the rally with fake VIP passes to the rally and fake press passes as well.
Oh.
Thanks, Annette, there. She found that link. Yeah, so, and, he was armed to the tits as well.
Best place to keep them.
Yeah, more hidden.
Just tucked under.
Yeah.
Interesting though that someone would try another rally just to trying in general to have a go at Trump, but to try again at a rally, surely surely that he stands behind a bulletproof glass screen now, so
which I think is the only reason that Musk agreed to go and do the whole belly show on his thing, because I don't think Musk would have stood up at a rally normally.
The best thing to do, and I'm not suggesting you do this, is become into MAGA and go to that stand that's behind him. So you're on the other side of the glass.
Oh,
taking him out from the back.
Speaking of which, I don't know if these are true or not, but a couple of people, the Midas Touch guys, or one of them, had videos out where you could just faintly hear Trump fart while giving speeches at a couple of places.
No, it wasn't just a fart. It was a wet, sloppy fart.
Yeah. It was the kind of thing that your average 77 year old is going to need a diaper for.
People apparently complained of a foul stench shortly afterwards.
It's probably why those people had that eye reaction at that one thing we reported on a few weeks back, right? Because there was just this flow of fecal matter coming at their faces through that foul man's rectal area.
It's what turned Elon's hat black.
Yeah, Trump face sat him for 10 minutes. Take that, you rich prick.
But to be fair, if he is an old man and and he may have medical issues, he may be wearing a diaper and stuff like that. I don't think we should have a go at him for that. It's kind of funny, but come on, guys, just grow up a little bit. Let's just get him on his fucking policies and shit.
Well, here, let me do a couple of super chat shout outs and get caught up here. We got Darren Vaughn in with a $20 super chat for whatever. So let's go into the little one's trike for sure. Then say hi to Felix for me. That's my son. If anybody's unfamiliar, I'm a special ed teacher myself. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, you'd be somewhat familiar. Mine's 17, 6'1", but he's kind of a 7 or 8 year old at the same time.
More mature than Dick, should we just say?
Actually, that's actually true. He truly is. He won't swear. He changes his words to say something else instead, where, as most of you know, that's not really how I do it. Okay. And then Darren Vaughn was in again with a second super chat for $1.99 here. That first one was $20. Why are all assassins incompetent nowadays? I swear to God, I've asked that question at least 3 times in the last 6 months.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing that the first one. I mean, he was a member of a gun club. Oh, he tried to be a. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, he tried to be in the shooting team at school or at college, and they threw him out because he was rubbish.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have thought. Well, maybe I should just try a different technique to get Trump. Maybe shooting isn't my bag. Maybe poison or a nasty letter.
The first guy was one of those dudes where his eyes are so crossed that the glasses have to point in two different directions just to try to fix it, right? No offense to anybody, but you know what I mean, Like, fuck.
Yeah.
I said it, and I'm only kidding, but like American, you all got the guns. I mean, Canadians got guns, but you cats got guns.
To be fair, we've only had one who's actually fired up a round so far, and
he's the guy with the glasses, right?
Yeah, the second one was the one hiding out by the golf course, and he never fired up a round, so we don't know how accurate he might have been, but
That's true. That's true. That's true. Let me see our total tonight so far here. So we got 5, 7, 42, 62, 64.
And that's done it for you.
Oh, okay.
58, 96. Although don't forget. I hate to say it, but once you take up Google.
Well, that's the math I was going to do, right? Because see, super chats, we lose 30% to Google, but then we actually pay another tax on the earnings when they're paid out as well. So it's literally closer to like 40%. And direct donations through the links in the top of the chat there, we only lose like 5% or something, maybe like 4-ish, because it's just basically direct through PayPal, right? There was a PayPal notification I just got on my personal devices, but I'm not seeing it in the emails or anything, so we'll just have to wait a minute. But somebody did a direct thing as well. Oh, here it is. Paul Gilbert there, hashtag trike, $15 direct donation. Hey, thanks, Paul. Awesome of you to do that. All right. You see, funny, my watch and my phone were ahead on the notification than the email service. So PayPal's prioritizing the app, which gives me a beep through mobile versus being open, having my email open. Right? Catch that?
Yeah, exciting.
Well, it's just another one of those reasons how they, try to push you to always use the app and stuff. And why that is? Because the app's got its hooks into your phone and it gets all this other information the company can take from you and then sell to other people.
Yeah. Knows your bra size and your knickers size.
Why do you think all these fast food companies have apps and everything so that you can get deals and coupons? Why would they go to the trouble of coding an app, keeping it up to date and all that stuff just to enable you to get a few bucks off here and there? There's got to be an angle, right? It's because they make more money selling your information than they lose by giving you a deal to have the app. That's the game. Right.
Well, I don't know if it's always just, they can sell information, but there's definitely something, sneaky going on there. In as much as there's a lot of restaurants now where you don't even
get a menu.
You don't get a waitress comes and asks you to take your order, and she's got a little pad and pen or whatever.
Or him.
There's just a fucking app, and you have to order using the app.
Yeah,
I've seen that creeping in, and
you know what I do at those restaurants?
Leave.
Yeah, I leave and go to another one that actually is a restaurant because I don't want that space age bullshit. I just want to,
Well, I don't even like the McDonald's system now. A lot of places have taken that up.
Fucking yeah.
You go in there to eat with your hands because they don't give you cutlery.
And I have to touch this community thing first.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, this came out. This started becoming, general into the system during COVID.
I know, and there's no sanitary things to keep you or anything. No. So you go and touch this thing that, Uncle Bob just used after picking his schnoz, right? Yeah. And then you've got to paw the same equipment, and then you could go to the bathroom, but you're not in line properly, and then other people get pissy when you go in front, and it's so stupid. Why isn't there like a dispenser and a little pump just so I can, clean up? But
the funny thing was, okay, I've seen this, and I've talked about it on the show before. If you go back and watch one of the pub chats from like 3 or 4 years ago, and you'll still hear me whining about it.
Yeah.
But they would have it in hospitals and doctors' waiting rooms. Instead of going to the desk and saying, "Oh, I'm here for an appointment," you had to go and log in to a machine, with a touchscreen. And I distinctly remember sitting there in the doctor's waiting room.
Isn't this the worst thing?
Yeah. I know. I was literally sitting there in the waiting room with my missus, and some woman came in, all over the fucking screen.
Yeah.
And I just looked at the woman behind the desk and said, "You're going to go and fucking clean that now, or what?"
No, clean it, burn it, fuck, and she does that right as you're rubbing your eye, and then you look at your hand and you go, "Oh God," I that's it, I got fucking herpes, Hep C, and a wicked case of the drip.
It's like back in the day during the days of the Black Death and things like that. You'd have traders bringing in furs and things, from around the country, and of course they're all full of fleas, and those fleas were all infected, and they're killing over in the villages, and just spreading it around. Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's stupid mentality. Why do you have to bring that into the 20th century in a modern way?
I know.
What's the best way to spread diseases? Oh, I don't know. Well, a machine that everybody has to fondle. Well, I'm surprised you don't have to lick it and put your cock in it. Just to,
I know.
Biometric scanner. I'm going to make sure it's you. So you got to stick your penis in it. Oh no, you've got VD now. Well, I don't know why that happened.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh Jesus! I hope that was sanitary cream in the tip. But yeah, I don't get that at all. We've got this thing here where more and more of our stores, I'm sure a lot of you are used to this already too, that we have these self-checkout things. And we have one store, like I live in this little triangle of the 3 big grocery stores of my area. It's really convenient. So the one store, their system works really well. The other store, you put your basket on a pedestal, which is essentially a scale, and then you're scanning your things and you're putting it onto another scale as you put it away. And they don't always seem to be calibrated perfectly. And you're always stuck waiting for the attendant to come over. And it's got to the point where the attendants know not to piss the customer off, and they just bleep it away without even checking your bags. So I'm sure that people are actually ripping them off blind, exploiting this because the staff are too timid, because people have been like, "It's the 3rd time in one checkout," and they're just like, here sir, you know what I mean? And they just blip you through now. It's defeated the entire point, right?
It is funny because on our local Lidl store, and yes, I have become a Lidl fanboy. So shut up, don't be snobs. And the funny thing is, you go there and you got you get your shopping bag because you got your bag for life, because obviously that's how we are now in the modern days. You have your bag for life, and so you put your bag on the scale, and it says, "Are you using a bag?" You go, "Yes." You press the button, and then immediately comes up the thing that says, "Oh, please take the item off the scale." Well, the bag I've just put on there that I've told you I've got on there. And you take the thing off, and the red light goes. It's like, oh my God. You have to get the attendant to come through and go,
Yeah. I even today when I went to the store, we have a thing where you push a button, you put your bags on, and then you push a button and it's supposed to zero the way to your bags, but it never quite works properly. And some new attendant came over today and started doing oh, sir, first you have to. And the other attendant was like, no, he's here all the time. Don't worry about it. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I have tried putting my bag on the scale, and it just so happens to have an impact driver. I got off the middle aisle, and
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to zero out for some strange reason.
Yeah. Well, my neighbor told me a funny story. She was like, you know how it works? When you zero your bags, it's not smart enough to realize that your bag is too heavy and obviously has something in it, or that maybe it's just taking into consideration that you might have been shopping somewhere else first and had stuff in your bag. So what she does is she puts a couple of the more expensive things into the bag, and puts the rest into the basket, and then sets her bag down and does her checkout and leaves, and it never knows the wiser every time. And I said to her, one day you're going to get caught. And it's pretty hard to say it was an accident when there's 4 expensive things at the bottom of your bag. Your system has a flaw. Right? Because if you can't make it so that you honestly didn't mean it, you're caught for stealing.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, this is not consumer advice, everybody.
No. Yeah. I'm not teaching you how to steal.
Because there was a story that came up in one of the news feeds that we were researching, and it was some like TikTok girl. It was kind of like trying to do lessons on how to steal using the self-service thing, but she got caught because there's basically a camera above the till thing, and it spotted her putting things in the bag without scanning it, and I don't know why it didn't have the weight system that didn't check it.
We have that too, though. Yeah,
but she got caught and just tried to turn into victim and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have that as well on ours. They have cameras above you, and they can tell the motion of a swipe. And if there's not a corresponding barcode beep, they know, right?
But the other interesting thing, because I'm a raging alcoholic, I'm buying booze and putting it in the back, and of course, because it's booze, it has to be verified that I'm 18 years or older. I guarantee
you or your children. I
guarantee you, I am 18 years and older. But the funny thing is, if you put some vegetables through and you put it on the till, there's an AI on the till, and it looks at the vegetable and we go, oh, is this broccoli or is this? It give you a couple of options. And usually it's right. Is it vine tomatoes or is it red peppers?
Yeah.
And the AI can pick it out. Now, why can't they have the AI look at me and go, that's a fucking old man? Or it's a 16-year-old in a beard with wrinkles drawn on. I mean, why isn't the AI saying, this person is definitely over 18?
But the AI would also watch the way you move through the checkout and go, no teenager could ever act that broken. It would know it's really,
Yeah.
But
and look at the items. What 18-year-old buys broccoli?
Yeah. But here's the other thing. You've got extra people watching those cameras. You've got staff that have to attend to the self-checkout because it always screws up. Like literally they need 1 staff for every 4 or 5 self-checkout tills, or else it's not enough and it stalls and doesn't keep moving. So isn't the answer, like PJCnet, our mod there in the chat said just a couple minutes ago, to actually just have checkouts where the staff check you out, and as such, unless you've stuffed your pants full of shit, you're not stealing? Like, wouldn't that just be easier?
Yeah.
I can't understand. We've got all these super high tech options to get away from the fact that owners don't want to pay minimum wage to somebody to check you out of a store because they don't make enough money. How? Come on,
And if you're stealing from Lidl, my God, you got problems.
Yeah.
The other day I went down there and the loss prevention officer was pacing up and down the outside of the store. He was bored shitless.
Yeah.
And I almost said to him on the way in, said, "You want me to go and steal something just to make your day?"
Yeah.
And then I thought I better not.
Yeah.
He'd be like tagging me around the store.
Well, we won't say any names, but we had a loss prevention officer as a member of the mod team for a time, and they would post pictures in our private chat to show us stupid people doing stupid shit and stuff, and it's hilarious, right? I mean, I can't show you any of them because I'm not allowed to, right? And I'm not going to tell you who because I'm not allowed to, but
yeah. Colin Davis of 42 Acacia Avenue.
Yeah. But it was really funny to see. But also, all of those cameras, the AI is nowhere near good enough. And for years, they didn't even exist. They all had people watching them, right? So if you've got somebody watching 4 cameras up there, why not just have 4 more people work on the floor and interact with the customers and be friendly and nice and stuff? And I mean, I just don't see the benefit of hiding the fact that you're watching somebody. Just fucking be there. But, maybe I'm just old school.
Yeah, you're old. Oh, old school. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Either way, same thing.
You got a bit of mathematics to do, Dick. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. So,
if 6 people have 3 apples and it's going at 9 miles an hour for 3 hours.
Okay. You're not helping. Say words, not numbers, because that's not helpful.
How many apples does it take to create a square? There are 42 degrees in an angle or a temperature. Sorry, to explain. We've had a notification in our green room that we have someone here who would like to close up the.
I would say the
trike.
Yeah, the closeout right now is $46 American. That's what the closeout is for the trike. Right? I did rough math based on the percentages lost of super chats that are contributed to the channel.
Yeah. And it's a lot.
Oh, dear Lord, is it ever? Let me see here what you all think that are watching this. The idea is we're going to take the memberships on YouTube down to only 2 levels and then put 2 more levels over on Patreon where we don't lose 30% to YouTube and then more to Google AdSense when they pay us out. We only lose I think it's 7% or something instead, and we get to keep a shit ton more of the money. And that's kind of what y'all intend anyway, isn't it? You're not signing up as members to help make sure that Google and YouTube have an income, right?
They want Google to have another Ferrari.
Yeah. And what we're going to do is the top level on Patreon. So what you do is you sign up as a $1.99 member on YouTube. And then if you want to contribute better, you jump over to Patreon. And our highest tier members on Patreon will get to join the show. Like right now, you would be in our voice chat listening. You wouldn't be able to talk. We're not doing that. But because everybody would have to have good microphones and all that kind of shit, right? But you'd be watching the show live through our voice chat software instead of...
It's a backstage pass.
Yeah, it's a backstage pass, right? So, like everybody on YouTube's like 3 seconds behind because of the latency of YouTube's processing and sending it out. So, your comments in the chat on whatever said would always be first because you'll hear it first.
And you never know, we might bring you in during the credits.
Probably not. Oh, it could happen. Yeah, during the credits. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. No, it's not going to happen. No.
What the fuck? Yeah. That could be a thing. Yeah. And then there'll be a second level on YouTube that's there just because whenever you gift membership, it seems to be the second level that gets gifted out. I'm not really sure how that works. But and we'll have 2 levels on Patreon. One level was you get early access to the shorts that we put out that are clips from the show. And then the higher level gets to watch the show live in the background. Yeah.
And but we will be calling this the upper and lower peg on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, on Patreon it will be the upper and lower peg, just like the Monty Python joke. Yeah. Yeah, but what if my brother isn't having his haircut, sir? Should I move his clothes to the lower peg?
Just give her a kiss, boy. That could be one of the levels. Just giving us a kiss.
Yeah. Just give her a kiss and stampeding towards the clitoris.
That's the top level.
That's funny. Okay. Oh, I see here. Okay, so UTV and Ham. Okay, wait a minute. UTV and Ham in the chat is the one that wanted to finish out the trike thing, but we've had a slight miscommunication here. So here, let me read out the direct donation.
So what you do this. I'm going to go and grab some ice. I'll come back in a minute.
Okay, so I have to do the math here. Okay, so oh god damn it. Okay, I don't know if it's me that fucked this up or not. So 124. Okay, so oh, okay. No, I think I might be right. I think I might have been right. God damn it. Okay. So UTV and Ham sent in 44 direct donation for the kids' strike. Happy kid and Slava Ukraine. Heroim Slava. Great shout there. So let me do the math here because there might have been an issue with Canadian and American funds. So my target is $124, it says, but there's always that thing with PayPal and cash conversion. So I would say it's more like 130 Canadian just to be safe. And we have 64 is more like, 40-ish, 55, 65, 70. So yeah, what happened is when I said we needed like $45 or whatever the hell I said there, that was American, not Canadian, because I had done the conversion in my head. So right now, I think we're like $18 or something away. But I would have to do the conversions proper to know. But we're really close. So what the hell are you going to do? We were close. Yeah.
Just throw coins at the screen. That would do it.
But a big shout out there to UTV and Ham. And we also had a direct donation of $3.33 from Darren Vaughn. So I think that gets us even just that tad closer here. So, okay. So here, hold on a second. It could be that I misread something. Let me look again. Yeah, no, okay. Dear God. Okay, tell the story, DK. Give me a second here.
Yeah, he's got it all wrong. It turns out the 1-year-old wants a Harley Davidson trike, and they're running at about $50,000. So keep going at it, everybody. We'll get there. But that 1-year-old, the Harley Davidson trike.
Yeah. Okay, so let me go to here. Okay, here. Let me just see here.
You still want me to tell a story, or are you carrying on? What you doing?
Yeah, no, keep going.
I haven't got any bloody stories. Well, okay, all right. What we got? Let's have a little look. See what I've got in my little bank of stories. Yeah, what happened? What's happened? Hey, yeah. There was this shitty play in Germany that went out with 18 theatre goers, and he needed medical treatment after they watched this radical feminist opera featuring live piercings, explicit sexual acts, rollerblading nuns, and real and fake blood. Sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah, Austrian choreographer Florentina Holtzinger's production is based on a controversial 1920s expressionist opera called Sancta Susanna, which examined the relationship between celibacy and lust in Christianity. I was just going to
say that title sounds sexy.
Sancta Susanna.
I knew it.
I can just see the old VHS porn cover. On Saturday we had they had 18 people who were to be looked after by our visitor service. We recommend that all audience members once again very carefully read the warnings so that they know what to expect. What do you mean what to expect? How bad can it possibly be? Yeah, I mean, everyone's used to debauchery these days. Come on, it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
But they're saying, well, when in doubt during the performance, it might help to avert your eyes. Oh, what am I paying for then? Avert your eyes. No, don't you be averting your eyes. Look at me. But according to the local media, the 18 audience members felt nauseous while watching the opera. Maybe it was just shit, and needed first aid. Okay, they had to get a doctor. They had to call a doctor in. What the hell?
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
That was some, what kind of loving were they doing to make people sick? Is this? Are they just like building it up to try and get advertising or whatever? But
I love it. I think it's hilarious. I got an announcement.
Oh
yeah, as you can see here,
he's coming out.
Wish granted. See, and we get to send a message here. I'm not going to type the message live on screen because I don't even know what I'm going to type yet, But wish granted. Woohoo! Thank you, everybody. I'm about to
typing out. Hey, we're a bunch of drunks on YouTube, and we got the kid out of the Drake. Yeah, learn to drink and drive.
Yeah. We're foul-mouthed individuals that are up to no good, but we do have a bit of a kind heart thing going on. So happy days, enjoy your trike, and remember, don't ride with a Coors in your hand.
Yes. And we'll also be sending a VHS copy of Sancta Susanna.
Yeah. If you send us a VH copy of your mom.
She's probably in
it. So huge thanks, everybody. Well, we fulfilled another wish on One Simple Wish. I think at this point, that's got to be at least our 6th one or something, right?
More than that.
Maybe, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just bought a cool kid a tricycle. So this Christmas, he's going to wake up and that boy's got wheels. That feels pretty good, right? You know?
Sure, it's a boy. How do you know? He's sexist.
His name isn't a bit early or a little bit early to be putting rolls on him. No, at this point he's 1, so I'm pretty sure, you know, we're still okay. But yeah, that's awesome. If I do the math, now at the time that I clicked go, I didn't have enough in PayPal yet, and the super chats won't come until like these ones might even take like 3 weeks, but you know, every month you get an AdSense payout, right? So I just did the rest from the Shills account. We try to keep a little bit of money kicking around in case somebody's microphone dies or something. We can just buy one, right? And yeah, but then there was another super chat there from Left-Handed Jedi. Will this help? $20 always helps Left-Handed Jedi. And if we're over the mark, I'll just go through and find another kid that needs like, you know, fall and winter clothes for $40 or something and put the money in, right? That's what we always do.
Yeah, and if not, you know, you're just supporting the channel, so you know it's There's always money in the kitty that we shuffle around to donations. You know, we have to make up, like Dick says. You know, sometimes we're waiting on AdSense. So if there's money in the kitty, it can be made up and go somewhere else. And you know, we're constantly juggling. Don't ask us for receipts because it would be fucking confusing.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, we got one from Darren Vaughn. $10 direct donation in through PayPal. So, you know, once I do the math here, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to throw $30 or $40 at a second kid afterwards, right? No problem. You know,
not literally.
Yeah. You know,
not going to find some kid and just like, you know,
just tie it to a rock and lob it through his window. You know, there you go. Yeah, fucking. No. Well. But I like the idea because it's, you know, for, you know, kids in the foster system, and ain't nobody asked for that, but you know, life is what you get, right?
Yeah. Tough being a foster kid.
Yeah, for sure. Must be, you know. But you got to figure if the parent is smart enough to figure out that there's a website where they could get a little help, they must be at least in a decent home, right? Right? I hope so, anyway. Let's see. So where are we now? What time is it? Oh, okay. It's only like 5 o'clock here. My son's out for Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend.
We were going to talk about that.
Yeah. Today's the day we celebrate with big food and gathering. How one people had to be crushed so another could strive and survive. I don't know, man. You know, I'm pretty sure that the Thanksgiving holiday is going to die a horrible death soon and become something else. But we'll see. He's visiting with family this year, so he's not home right now. He might be back this evening, though.
Yeah, but whose family?
Oh, the other side. Yeah.
Just a random family.
Yeah. Every year we pick one out of the phone book and just call them up. You know?
No, you don't call them. You don't give them any warning. Just like, you know, send them around in an Uber.
You got to make sure they're home. You call them with an offer of a lottery win, right? You know, you could have a free cruise. No, thanks, not interested. Okay, they're home. Let's go.
Would you like free pizza?
Yeah. KK's GG there in the chat. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Well, thank you. You know, I'll pass it on to Felix because he's the one out doing the whole dinner thing tonight and stuff.
So is it like turkey? You know, is it?
Yeah, it's that whole thing, cranberry sauce, hate that crap, but potatoes, stuffing, turkey, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. In other words, food.
Yeah.
Like everybody eats just all the time anyway.
Oh, yeah, but my son eats like a freaking horse, and he loves a big plate full of everything. So he loves these days, right? He loves that.
But when you say he eats like a horse, he doesn't eat on all fours with a nose bag.
Well, I think the feed bag he probably could be trained into, but but yeah, I mean, he's what, 160 pounds or so, maybe 6 foot-ish tall. He's really tall and slim. And the breakfast plate he eats in the morning is like one of those heaping piles of Denny's. For those of you in Europe and in the UK and stuff, just imagine that amazingly wild looking plate of breakfast that people eat at American diners in the movies and stuff. You can do that in the morning, no problem, and totally be ready to have like 3 hot dogs and fries and shit for lunch. No problem. It's crazy.
Where does it all go?
I don't know.
Is it going to be one of those sort of things where his metabolism at one point will just go, you know what? I'm just going to turn this into a fat now.
Well, yeah, but if he's like me, and he's proved to be in a bunch of ways, I'm like 54 and my metabolism is only just now starting to slow down, where my tummy's sticking out a bit more than the rest of me. It's only finally happening now. And that's also
Dick, don't be down on yourself. It's not your tummy. It's your little love handles.
Yeah, it's not so little. But I also
you got a lot of love.
Yeah, but I also have fibromyalgia, so I'm just not as active as I used to be. So it kind of seems natural as well. But I think he'll be okay for a while, and he's crazy active. I mean, he doesn't walk; he skips everywhere he goes. We'll be walking down the road, and he's like, almost a block ahead of me.
He's like a character from an 80s platform game.
Yeah. Holy fuck! Keeping up to him's crazy. Let me check all the notification-y things and stuff here, because there was another one here. Those are the notifications of the payment that went out to One Simple Wish. Okay, I see. All right.
They didn't donate back.
yeah.
You got a super chat from One Simple Wish.
There's a second tip. It says anonymous. Now, it says anonymous, and there was a tip for 333. But if I remember correctly, 333 was in the chat there. Who was it? For God's sakes, where do I find all this crap? Yeah, Darren Vaughn was 333. So the second tip for $10 that came through, this time it says anonymous was testing the first time. That's got to be Darren as well. But I can't. That was the one I shouted out. The $10 direct payment from Darren. Okay, now I get it.
Okay.
There's this weird disenchanted thing where PayPal gives me a notification for anything that goes through Stream Elements, but in the description it doesn't put Stream Elements payment, so I can't correlate them on the fly. Right? Can't figure it out sometimes. Now I get it. I know there's been times on the Saturday show where people have gotten a double shout out because I just get too many notifications and I just fucking say them all. The
other thing is really frustrating, and it should be a real easy fix for Google, is like when you get your super chats, people can send you a super chat in whatever currency they are local to.
Yeah.
And of course, that's really hard for you to figure out on the fly.
I know it should be.
Especially if you're trying to self-accountant yourself.
I know
what's going on.
I know.
It would be so easy for Google to say, right, all my super chats will be displayed in this currency.
I know. Like when somebody says to me, "Oh, can you give us a total on what we've raised today?" And I'm like, "Well,
it's gobbledygook."
yeah, but you've got what's her name who does With Love to Ukraine every show? It's 129 Swedish kroners. Like I've got to somehow sit down during a chat when I've got 3 screens of information in front of me producing the show and start totaling up and figuring out all the conversion. It's impossible. The only way that works is if I use a service for the donation, right? Like if we're doing a 69 Sniffing Brigade fundraiser, we've done a couple of those, right? It's very easy to just put the total on screen and say, hey, look, we did $3,000 today or whatever, right? But when it comes to the direct donations that we're handling to do like the Not Pierogi Fund or One Simple Wish or whatever, it's really difficult, you know?
Well, the thing is, well, Google could really help, in the studio environment where, okay, when you go to super chats and you got all your super chats up, then you can see them and it's telling you, how much it was in, florins or, whatever currency they're doing. It would be so handy for them to just say, well, this is the AdSense column, and this is what you'll be getting.
I know.
Through AdSense. Yeah. And then everything will be so crystal clear.
Yeah.
But they make it. It's almost like they don't want you to know and figure out. Just so they can skim off a few shekels off the top.
Well, the big channels like Linus Tech Tips and stuff have accounting things going on, and they know it's right. But for guys like us and stuff, YouTube has its cycle where in YouTube Studio, it shows you the last 28 days or January, February, March. But AdSense gets the money from YouTube and then pays you out after a slight delay. So you can never figure out the rotation between the two. And if you look at income from the last 28 days and then you see what AdSense payout is for that month, it never makes sense. You look at January or February, well, it doesn't make sense because you get paid out in between the two. And it's almost impossible to pull it together unless you go through the huge spreadsheet and look at it over the year and all that. And, holy shit.
It's like Ben Baker in the chat said, use Google currency converter. Yeah, sure. But then we have to have somebody on the team who is actually just converting everything on the fly.
No, because the Google currency converter will be wrong because services like PayPal have their own conversion rates that always favor them a tiny little bit, and you always lose a tiny bit in conversion. Right. Absolute fact. You can't even do it that way. Otherwise, you always lose in the end.
And also the Google AdSense is at what point do they choose the conversion rate?
Exactly.
Is it on the day when it comes in or the day they pay out?
Exactly. There's so many variables that we have no control over. So if somebody says, well, did you donate $400 today because that's your super chats? I won't get them for 30 days, first off. And second off, I don't get the $400. And third, it's almost impossible to figure it out, right? So what we do is we look through all the super chats and we go, okay, Ukraine, us, Ukraine, you know what I mean? And we do our best to just use the YouTube numbers to come up with percentages. And then we apply that percentage on the day of AdSense payout to the money that we received and pay that much out. And it's literally the best we can do, but we're really close, right? Because they overlap, and so it's still the same money, right?
So yeah, just so let you know, if you are donating and here's for the beer fund and all that kind of stuff, thanks for that. But sometimes has to cover some of the other bits that we kind of miss. We have to cover these other charges and stuff. So
but these are all the reasons why you're actually better off to support using the direct donations because we avoid all these people getting a cut, and it's way better.
Yeah.
Plus in PayPal, I get a total of my money, irregardless of all of these different monetizations and stuff. And I can just look and go, hey, we raised 400 today. Done.
Yeah. Right? Done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've already taken their bits off and whatever.
Exactly. Makes it so much easier. That's why direct donations in all these situations with, with a trusted creator, somebody that isn't like some kind of shyster enforcing their bullshit on you. It's a good way to play it.
Yeah. I don't know why Google make it so complicated with the AdSense thing.
They do it on purpose to keep us off guard. Just the same with YouTube and communication and explaining community guidelines and all this, right? I truly believe that companies like Google and YouTube and whatnot are literally doing a philosophy of gamifying it and keeping you on your toes and always chasing the next carrot that's hanging in front of your face. And that's why I totally believe that people like us are better off to ignore all of that and just do what we want to do. Never mind any of it.
Talking of which, I noticed on our Shills account, it came up that we are now eligible for brands. What is it? What do they call it? Brands account, brands association, or something. So you can you can get people to come in to pay us.
Partnerships.
Partnerships. Yeah. It's like, that's a whole can of worms.
Can you imagine? Because we've talked about this. I would do sponsorship things in the show, but only if the company let us do it on our terms. So we literally create like a running gag through the show that points back to the sponsor product in fun ways and stuff. And as such, they get their 2 minutes of lip service through the show, but you all don't get pissed off by the fact that we go, today I found myself feeling a little bit, weak and uninterested in work, but thankfully I have Factor. And boom, you're into a 2-minute spew of bullshit, right? Because we won't there's no way I'm doing that. No way, ever.
No.
But
I know. I'm with you on that. I agree.
Yeah. There's no way we'll ever do that. But we do have a plan. And if a sponsor is smart enough, they'll realize that our plan is just as good as that other bullshit, except it won't interrupt things and they'll still get eyeballs and earlobes, right? You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens, because we'll only ever do it if it makes sense to us. Otherwise, no, right? Plus, I mean, we're pretty open-hearted dudes and whatnot. I mean, if we actually got a sponsorship that was worth money, we would do some kind of, hey, we just got this person in and, they cut us a check. So we're going to take, 30% of it and put it into a donation fund. And let's see if you all can match us in 5 days or whatever. Right. That'd be cool. But I don't see it happening for a long time, because we would have to be powerful in the scene before people are going to listen to us, right? Not going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. But we're eligible.
Yeah,
we're eligible for it. It's just whether or not whether anybody takes us on. That's the thing.
Well, we got offered a couple through Stream Elements, and I said to both of them, look, get in touch, because I have a really good idea on a different style of campaign, but I'm sure it would be effective and blah, blah. And not only did no company get in touch with us, but we were never offered another thing through Stream Elements again. It's never happened, right? So, these people think they know better and they won't listen. But we're the ones that hang out with you, our viewers, all the time. I think we actually know better. I really do. But we'll see. Anyway, enough about assholes and their money. And then I was going to do a super chat shout out. That's not a good idea.
Great segue.
Yeah, holy shit. That wasn't really well thought out. So here, a little palate cleanser for you, shall we say. And then we'll go into Darren Vaughn in with a super chat. Tried direct donation, but suck at it. Keep trying. Try the that was before Darren figured it out, right? Because Darren's done it now. So there we go. The Stream Elements one is quite easy to go through if you have any sort of card. That's why we switched to them. Plus, they offer sponsorships, although they're all idiots. So there's that.
Well, we're a match made in heaven then.
Well, you would think, but when you think about it, there's quite a few companies out there that if they would just listen to our vision of things, sure, it's a bit more adult, a little bit more whatever, but there's lots of companies that advertise on shows where, you've got all kinds of nudity and sex going on and stuff these days. I mean, it's not very much to ask, really. All we do is say fuck now and then.
Well, that takes us to our sponsor tonight, Sanctus Susanna, which is all about sex, porn, and nudity and roller skating nuns. This audience want to see.
I can't wait, Father. Can I have another?
Spank me, senseless. There you go. Sanctus Susanna, we gave you a free one.
Captain Highliner said I did good today, sir.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I got to put in a message. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Oh, sorry, I'm 4 beers in. I really can't be bothered right here. Well, while you're doing that, we've got another super chat in from Rosie Rahali for $5. Says, "You guys are the best." Yes, we are. Can you send that to me in writing, and I can put it in front of my wife?
That's a good one.
Maybe we should just get printed up with a T-shirt. You guys are the best. I can just wear it all the time. See.
I'm gonna make 4 T-shirts of that so that I always have one clean for when my ex-wife shows up to get my son. That way I can say, "See, it's been verified."
Hey, that's as a thing. We have done fuck all as far as merch is concerned. People in the chat, do you want more merch? Do you actually want it? Do you want some decent T-shirts and stuff? Because we've not done anything on that side for a long time. We keep talking about it. We never get around to it. There's always something else to do.
Yeah, very much so. Okay.
Yeah, tell us what merch you want.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, we've got a new merch store, and at first it wasn't working for me, but I kept trying and trying and trying. It is finally working now, and you're going to be able to buy a Shills shirt with our little green globe channel icon in the bottom right of the screen there for the watermark, embroidered onto the shirt, and it looks freaking awesome. And it's not even that expensive. I think it was like $32 Canadian or something,
So that's all sorted now, is it?
Yeah, it's finally working. But at first I could only get the shirt to do in black only, but now their software is starting to work better. They're a newer service, but they're using the same factories and whatnot that a couple of the other services are using. And they might have embroidery soon, but these guys got it first. So I wanted that really bad.
And who is this? Which service is this? Do we have it? Do we have it on our website?
What are they
Under
called?
I don't think we got it on the website yet.
Wait a minute.
And
Okay.
yes, we do. And yes, we do have a website.
Yeah. We don't have it linked on anything yet, but I do want to finish building out the category over the next couple of days. But it was only like 2 days ago that I tried again, and I was like, oh shit, it's finally working. Here we go. All right. Because it's a way better service. Well, they have awesome.
Darren Ford says, what the fuck is the green globe anyway? But it's a globe and it's green.
Yeah, that's a good description. Yeah. That's like Data when he got the booze for Scotty on Star Trek The Next Generation.
It's green.
It is green. So here's the message I'm putting into the family getting the trike that we bought. From YouTube channel viewers at the Shills. We scan one simple wish looking for folks a few times a year, and we're glad we could help. Hope he enjoys his new wheels. That's about it. I mean, what else are we supposed to say? Are we supposed to start going into how we and blah, blah? It's not about us, right?
Yes, it is.
It's just not, though.
Oh, okay.
No. That's enough, isn't it? Right?
Put kissy kissy. No, put stay shilly on the end of it. You shilly buggers.
Yeah, but that might actually have them peeking out their windows at night, wondering if we're like creeps, Yeah. Now, LJ in the chat says, perfect. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's the submit right there. LJ called it. There's nothing I can do. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So it says you sent a message to the child you just helped. And here's the thing. Andrew's getting so big. He loves playing outside with his other foster siblings. Oh, so they have a couple. He watches them ride their bikes with Christmas in a bit. What better gift for him than a tricycle? Yeah. The tricycle they picked is perfect since it starts out with a push handle and then converts to pedals as he grows. Oh, it's one of those adult ones, right? Okay. Yeah, I know which one they're talking about. So that's really cool. Cool. So that's done. And then
we could have got him a Sinclair C5.
You know what's funny? If you take a modern or a Sinclair C5, let me get a picture up for anybody that doesn't know.
A modern Sinclair C5.
Well, if you took a Sinclair C5 and if you were to like rip it apart and, put in modern batteries and a modern motor and a few things.
A modern washing machine motor.
Yeah. But if you were to do those things, I'm not talking about driving on the roads or anything psychotic, right? But for places where it's pedestrian walking malls and things like that and whatnot, that would be a great place to, a great little thing to get around on. He had a really good idea. It was just horribly implemented because of the technology of his time.
Yeah, but you know what will happen if you have one of those driving around, your local area. There's going to be kids that will be picking it up and chucking it into a skip and throwing it over a wall. It'll be disappearing.
You're such a hooligan.
Yeah, but that's what people do.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. There would be issues with that kind of thing. But if you had an area built for people to just, blast down the road to go to the store in one of those, maybe it was a little bit bigger and had a little trunk in the back to put a few things in and stuff and whatnot, you could actually do it. The thing was Clive thought that was going to be on the road with vehicles of its day. And literally, you're just praying to God for your life as you drive along, right?
Yeah, they're all going to be underneath a truck.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you talk about the modern equivalent, haven't we haven't we already got that? I mean, they tried to segue, and yeah, okay, that failed. But we're at an age of people's got electric bikes, electric scooters, electric skateboards. Haven't we already bypassed the C5 now, as far as those sort of things are concerned?
Well, we have, but the whole thing with electric bikes and scooters and everything is all these people that are top heavy. And like in my area, like my little area is a retirement haven, right? And we've got all these older folk who get these top heavy bikes with the batteries in the frame and stuff. And you can see they're just not that stable on them. And something that sits down and whatnot, like a C5, and if you know what I'm talking about, that's like incumbent or a recumbent, whatever bike,
Yeah. But having said that, I look at it and think it will take me half an hour just to get down into it.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that low so that people like us are like, oh God, my legs and whatnot, right? But if that idea was done now, there's lots of cities in Europe, especially more bicycle friendly cities, where something like that would really go over well.
Yeah, but it's basically like an early adoptee of the mobility scooter. A lot of people, are using these days. With four wheels, you're not going to fall over, and with a seat you actually sit in. It's a normal seat height. Do they not already surpass the C5 now?
Well, yeah, but like the idea of the C5, this thing, there's a lot of flaws to it, especially the single front wheel stability, all kinds of things, right? But the concept, the idea is right for a more modern future when we have low speed little communities where people just boot around. Like up in Canada here, especially on the West Coast, we've got a few communities that have legalized golf carts. So you can just literally take a golf cart to the store, man.
Yeah.
And the reason they do it is 90% of the community is retired. So nobody's going fast. Why not? Right? It does make a lot of sense. Imagine like a downtown core. Everybody's congested, taxis, big cars everywhere, but you're not going fast. You don't really need the safety of all of this metal around you. If it was more based on like golf carty things that didn't really go that fast, but still had some safety, y'all would actually get where you're going quicker because you could fit more of them on the roads and stuff, Yeah,
I'm just going to post this into the green room. This is a wheelchair my wife used to use, the PDQ trike.
Wow.
And it's basically a C5 without all the plastic kit around it.
Yeah, but she sits higher. The C5 sits way lower, right? Yeah.
And I must admit, I've used it myself several times. Well, the battery's dead now. It needs a new fucking battery. I don't know how we're going to sort that out because the company's.
You'd have to switch it to a new chemistry, like a modern one, right?
Yeah, but but it was really cool, and you ride it around up and down the roads, and it was really fast.
I bet
it had a decent range on it. It had a better range than the C5 ever had.
And front wheel drive, so it would even be okay in crappy weather to a bit, right? You know?
Oh yeah. No,
look at that front tire. Let me zoom it in. That's like a BMX knobby too, right?
Well, the one we've got has got like off-road tires on the back as well. So it's it was great. Up and down parks and off-road, anywhere you go. It was. Oh, it didn't work on beaches. It's going into the sand that would just like dig in, just and going everywhere. But
I like how they strap the heavy gubbins of the battery pack on the front because it's going to balance the human sitting in there in the chair.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. That's actually good design.
Yeah.
You
know, sort of like, more like that. I think it could be a bit more interesting. Than C5.
The C5 was too low and dangerous, right? Like PJ said in the chat there, low down C5, right? I agree. But the concept behind the vehicle was correct for a modern era. It's just that life wasn't ready. I mean, when he released the C5, there were still cars with fucking carburetors on the road,
Well, not to mention lead petrol.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, just sucking it up down there. But when we say that, I've always thought many, many cars have their tailpipe slightly angled, especially in North America, towards the sidewalk. So why are we pointing the exhaust at our babies in their carriages or prams or whatever you want to call them? You know what I mean? I always wondered that. Shouldn't the exhaust at least point to the center of the road? I noticed it one day when I was walking down the street. There's quite a few American cars that have the exhaust out to the right side. That's where the people are, It
could be worse. Could be pumping it back into the cabin.
Yeah, well, they should be. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, but back onto that on that wheelchair thing that my wife's thing. She's got like a real new fancy one now, a robotic thing. But if I got the battery fixed on that and it was usable again, I would be happy to use that to just like nip down to the shops.
Yeah, right.
Instead of taking the Land Cruiser out, I might look a bit of a dick, and people go,
"Who cares?
Disabled man," or whatever. Yeah, but as far as when we're talking about electric vehicles and the future of electric vehicles, what's wrong with something like that?
Yeah,
because most of the time, as far as electric vehicles or any vehicles are concerned, it's usually just a single person going out. You don't always need passengers on it.
No, exactly.
And if it is just like getting it as a mode of transport to get you somewhere, it's perfectly adequate.
Oh yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Right?
And bikers loved it as well. That was really funny because when she was like riding around, you get these fucking huge like bikers
and they'd wave.
Yeah, they just come over and say, "Oh, this is so fucking awesome!"
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
No, I'd have to, if I did get it fixed, I'd have to, fix it up, have like shitloads of mirrors on it, like like an old mod motorcycle, and and then get a leather jacket and a helmet and look really cool.
I could see that.
In a disabled wheelchair, basically with an engine on it.
We got to give a shout out here to Rob M in the chat. Which Brits? Well, I'm not a Brit, but I damn well remember them. Remember the plastic pig, the Reliant Robin. This, I can't believe that a three-wheeler with a single wheel in the front was ever, somebody went, yeah, that's what we're putting on the road. That's a good idea.
But it's not far off the same concept, though, is it? If you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is a trike. It is like the C5, and but for some reason the weight distribution of that was a bit weird.
Now this is coming from me in the early 80s, late 70s, when the three-wheeler dirt bikes, the trikes came out. They were before the quads. My family got one, and some people declared them death traps and stuff because they didn't really have suspension. They just had balloony tires. And if you pumped them up too solid, like a regular car tire, you would just bounce out of control trying to go down a field and fly off the thing. And yeah, they could be dangerous, but they were never supposed to be sport bikes like that until they got suspension. They were supposed to just be ride around the farm, and if you counter lean, you don't tip them over, and they can get through tight trees and all that. And I understand I love those three-wheeler dirt bikes, but without being able to lean like in a car, I'm just stuck in my seat. I can't lean to help the vehicle. A front wheel 3-wheeler on the road is just madness to me.
You get those weird motorcycles. I wouldn't even use the term motorcycle. Motor scooters, which have 2 wheels at the front, one at the back.
Yeah.
You've seen that? You've seen those? It's like, does that help? Is that not just like redistributing where you're gonna?
No. But when you go into a corner, the inertia push can be negated by having the 2 wheels at the back, depending on the weight layout of the vehicle and stuff. Right? Like this picture here, that's Jeremy Clarkson being a moron. He did it on purpose, but it shows if you turn that front wheel too quick, too hard, you're going over. But if the single wheel's at the back and the 2 are at the front, then you're going to make it through the corner. Richard Hammond did it in, what's that really cool car company in the UK? They still make cars. Morgan, yeah, in the Morgan 3-wheeler, right? You know, if you put the 2 wheels at the front, it's pretty stable. But if you put the 2 wheels at the back, this is what happens.
It's kind of funny they didn't even like just go, well, why don't we just make them with 4 wheels?
No, and that car. Can you imagine this car here in Canada with like real winter when there's snow and ice on the road and everything? That front little hole under the hood where the wheel twists like this, you know, to turn the vehicle would get packed up solid, and the wheel wouldn't turn.
That'd be stupid. Right? You put a snow plow thing on the front of it.
Yeah. And the
or drives backwards in reverse.
But the other thing is the engine of a Reliant Robin is in the back. So with the engine in the back, you've got that pendulum effect, but only 1 wheel in the front. So it's always gonna. It was just.
Are you sure it was in the back?
Pretty sure.
Because what's that bit on the front of the car? Because
it's called a wheel. But look, the wheel takes up the huge front. Isn't it? Isn't the engine tucked away underneath? Because it's only like a 600cc little moped engine, right?
I'm sure it's in the front. And I actually think the engine was like, you know, built directly connected to the front wheel, so there was no like transmission or anything. It was just like the engine steers with the wheel as well. I might be wrong with that, but it just seems like that kind of fucking design.
You know what?
Like a lawnmower.
It looks like. Oh no. No, the engine is in the front, the Carpassian says. It was basically a motorcycle engine. Yeah, I knew it was pretty much like a moped engine, but I thought it was in the rear. No, you're right. I'm looking now. It is in the front, and it's kind of buried behind that front wheel with like the radiator over the top and stuff. Oh, my God. It's about as kludged together as a Morris Merino was.
But here's the funny thing, you know, with Elon Musk and all his crazy concepts. I'm because you know, I mentioned the Segway earlier. That when the Segway came out, that was going to be like, oh, that's going to be the one that's going to change everything. It didn't, right? Sinclair C5. That was going to change everything. It didn't.
Well, it did. It changed Clive Sinclair's bank balance from big to small.
Yeah, very true. But it's almost like I'm surprised Elon hasn't gone. You know what? There was a great concept there for an electric vehicle, a single person electric vehicle. That
he just did it. He released a robo-taxi that has 2 doors and 2 seats because that's what the world needs in a taxi, a sports car.
Yeah, but that's what he's done. It's just another car. No, I'm talking about because there are modern versions. I've sent you links in the past of like new concept electric vehicles which mimic the C5. So you're actually inside an enclosed body.
Yeah.
You're not being rained on like the C5 was. That was just like a three-wheeler canoe, basically. So you're actually inside a vehicle. So there is a potential there that might actually happen, but I'm wondering what is holding people back on it.
Well, here's one thing.
Is it embarrassment?
Well, here's one thing. Let me get this picture up for you. Because VW already did this. They released a supercar that was like $100,000, and its claim to fame was some ridiculous thing like 200 miles per gallon or something.
It's still a car.
Yeah, but it's a sleek diesel, and it's a two-seater, but one person sits a bit behind the other. It's ridiculous. Doug DeMuro did a piece on this car because he's one of the few people that actually got his hands on one, and it was ridiculously expensive, and nobody bought it, right? Because high mileage, high tech and stuff only sells a car if it's like a Rolls Royce and blah blah, and it's still slathered in the skin of 20 cows and all that, right?
Yeah, at that point, if you've got to be at a point where you really don't care about money.
Yeah,
if you're it doesn't matter how many, if it does 200 miles to the gallon, who cares if it's like 120,000. Yeah, because that's not the kind of person who's going to buy it. Is going to be someone who's worried about miles per gallon, is it?
Yeah, exactly, right. And that's the whole thing. Once you make a car that expensive, the person that owns it doesn't give a fuck about economy. They don't, right? Very few super uber rich people drive a Tesla daily. And the few that do it just for image, and they have a garage full of other things that consume gasoline in gulps,
Yeah. I'm sure they prefer those. I'm sure they turn to them as their daily drivers. Just for fun.
Yeah. But, anyway, I think we beat that horse to death. What do we got here? Oh, holy shit. Okay, we're at 2 hours. I still have a little while before I might have to do any parenting. I'm not sure if I'm going to tonight or not. I might not. So far, no text.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he was away.
Yeah, but there was a thing. He's got his youth program.
There's always a thing.
Oh yeah, but this one isn't a big one. It's more of a him thing. He's got his youth program tomorrow where he gets to go and hang out with some of his friends in the community and stuff and whatnot. And he very much likes that, but he does not like going to the youth program from mom or grandma when they have him. He likes being picked up by them from my place, specifically. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And he's very, it has to be, it just has to be the way it has to be, right?
How is the Hitler Youth Program going in Canada?
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. He got the little brown shirt, the little leather strap and everything.
He's got a ditch full of
Lederhosen.
Yeah, he's got 27 people in his ditch. He just doesn't know what to do with them yet. I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's only like 6 or 7.
Oh, he's learning how to fit shower heads. How to beat up old people. I didn't say they had to be Jews. But it's optional.
I hit that joke and I thought it was going to crush Greg Terry into submission, and he was like, "Nope, perfect timing." I was like, "All right."
Oh dear. Well, we're going to have to edit it then to make sure we catch him out.
yesterday on the show,
we can't have Greg Terry being prepared.
Yesterday on the show, dude, he had his head off screen with his hand up, and he was just kind of like, and I was like, Greg, you need a white flag on a stick. It was funny.
PG in the chat says, I thought of saying that, but it was too far below the belt. But then Doug said it anyway. And Doug is taking it further.
Always happens. Happens.
You should know about this with me dealing with flat earthers, PJ. We're always moving the goalposts.
No, that's funny. Yeah, we got to get Greg a white flag so he can just wave it when he's like, I give up. We have to get him one.
No, a checkered flag.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
No. You get him a white flag and you have the checkered flag.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can win.
Well, we had James from the channel Why Ukraine on the show, and he joins, and within 2 minutes, he's like, well, these fucking bastards and blah, blah. And it was really hilarious, man. It's like, oh, you don't know Greg, do you? Oh, well, I know. You got to let people be who they are, right?
Always.
Yeah.
No, not always.
Yeah.
But our team's good.
Yeah.
I say our team's your team, your bloody show.
I don't know about that anymore, but it's a nice thought. But yeah.
Yeah, you're like the DJ. You're like a DJ at the nightclub, and you've seen all the young kids come and go, and all the new kids are coming. They're asking for different records now. I don't have that in my collection.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but Puff Nitty never put out a vinyl, man.
Yeah, I've only got Dozy, Mitch, Mick, and Tim here. Yeah, what do you? What's this? Who is this Duran people you speak of?
Yeah. I'd be the guy to show up and DJ a retro night and complain that it's all new music, right?
You'll be like the DJ that turns up, and you've only got like one record player.
Oh, that's
not how it cuts it in the modern day. You got to have like 3 or 4. You're spinning them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, if I was going to DJ like that, I'd have myself a pair of 1200s for sure. I do know actually how to do that. Not very well. I wouldn't be able to do like Eric B or Terminator X kind of stuff, but I can beat match and throw them up. I did learn that.
I'm sure you could do Eric off the B.
Sammy Connolly. Yeah, Darren in the chat. Love Greg. How he puts up with the rest of us, I have no idea.
Prayer, I think.
Yeah, I got.
He's got a lot of faith, and he uses it like a fucking bodyguard against us.
I don't know what it was, but I got wind of Greg, invited him over onto the show, and he let his hair down, so to speak, and had a great time. And I was like, you got to join us all the time, dude. And he was like delighted. And we become like, proper friends. I talk to him during the week all the time and, check up. And yeah, it's funny because our loose-lipped approach to streaming and, we always push the boundaries and get a little bit off key and stuff thing is not his thing at all. But there's something about not having to be the Greg Terry experience that he likes about just, relaxing and letting it happen,
The same with Nick. Same with Nick Suter as well.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
He does his show and it's a great show. And it's all very, very, serious and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He gets to hang out with us. Just lets his hair down, both strands.
Yeah.
And
there's a bit of a Charlie Brown effect going on there.
Yeah. But I think that's one thing people like about the Shills experience is that, as Dan says, not so uptight. We are not uptight, and we can be. Well, let's face it. We can be pretty loose.
Too much, so we get demonetized so much,
And I don't mean loose like Trump's backside.
Captain Flatulence. I didn't even turn the monetization on for this stream. I was like, fuck it. There's no point. We'll screw it up anyway.
That's not very optimistic.
No, but it's actually more honest in the face of YouTube, because if you're more honest and just say, you know what, we're going to screw it up anyway, just don't monetize that show, they are less harsh on grading your other shows, right? It actually works. I know that's screwed up, because we should be able to just turn it on, and every now and then they go, no, you went too far, guys. And it shouldn't hurt us. But every time they catch us out and say, no, you were demonetized, it makes YouTube not like us that much, right? With YouTube, it's all about the money. So if you get demonetized and another channel doesn't, well, they're going to promote that channel more. That's how it works, right? So we get screwed all the time.
Yeah. Well, actually, at this point, it doesn't matter what you do. We're just getting screwed left, right, and center.
No, we're
just not getting that push to 10,000 subs. And even then, if we got to the 10,000 subs, I'm sure they'll go, well, you got too many subs. Let's take some away. Fuck it.
Yeah. No, we're going to have to get to like 10,700 before they stop fucking with us and let us alone for a while. But we'll see how it goes. We do have...
No, we don't want them to let us alone. We don't want them to promote us.
Yeah. One step at a time. But we do have a thing where you'll see us a lot more on social media coming up. I've been training myself with community posts to get ready to run the Instagram account. And then Dunk's going to do more on Twitter. And then we're going to have, I think it's Annette is going to be on Facebook. We're just figuring this out. But we're going to have a proper 3-pronged approach to, doing a bit more advertising, because
I mean, I'm already on Twitter at the minute as Dunk at the Shill. So come and find me there, and just help me try to figure out and understand Twitter to make it useful.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
to make it useful, that's impossible. The first part of your statement was at least doable.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand how people can build a following on Twitter.
I've told you.
I know you told me, but I've tried. It just doesn't seem to.
No, you try it for one day and go, well, that didn't work. It's not. You're. I'm not doing this conversation right now.
Well, go on, do it.
But you're getting this conversation after. For the love of fuck.
I must admit, I'm not on it as much as I should be, because just so many other things to do.
Was that your wife talking, or was that you?
It was the ghost of my wife. But you know what it is? It's like you just got, oh my God, I got so many things.
Yeah.
To try to juggle.
This was the thing. I was like, okay, I'm going to start Instagram. Here we go. And I went to install Instagram on my computer, and there's no app. It's just a website. You have to do it on your phone to get the notifications. But I don't like a plethora of apps on my phone freaking me out and making my anxieties go and stuff. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, I'll train myself with community posts first and get ready, because I get real anxieties. I'm not good at this shit,
And I mean, either. And the other thing is as well, it was kind of interesting because because I edit the shorts and put them out, and I noticed in studio. I'm starting to learn a few things that might be useful. But there was a thing on the YouTube Studio. It says, "Oh, you can pick a thumbnail for your short." And I'm not entirely sure how that's relevant, but okay, you can pick a thumbnail for your short. Only on the mobile app.
I know. What the fuck?
Why?
You know,
What's wrong with a computer app? Why is it limited to that? I don't understand that at all.
There's a creator thread that I'm on in Reddit, and there's people losing their shit about this. They're like, I don't even want your stupid app on my phone. And now I'm missing features because of this, you know, because there's a few people that thought it was kind of funny that I said, you know, I'm not the most social person in the world and I get anxieties and stuff, right? And I know that sounds odd because I'm literally on a podcast doing whatever right now, but I'm not interacting directly with 75 or 80 people or whatever. I'm just hanging out with Dunk and trying to watch the live chat. It's a very different experience than having to interact on a personal level with like 80 people trying to PM me and stuff and whatnot. That's when I get my guard up. That's when the walls come, right? You know.
Well, hang on. That's a Star Trek episode. Karjanar, when the walls fall.
Yeah, no, Darmok at Gillard.
Darmok at Gillard. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Well, you know the conversation really well.
Yeah. I have a weird memory for that shit, man. I can't forget that stuff, you know?
Try.
Yeah. Oh, I do. You know, trust me, the last thing I want is my memory to be squared in 4x3, you know? Oh, funny thing. So I if you don't know, I'm a total pirate. I go to torrent sites and everything. And recently I put Star Trek The Next Generation on the Plex server that we have for our mods and stuff, right? And there was some people in the comments section of the upload that I downloaded. And it was Star Trek The Next Generation remastered 1080p Blu-ray. And then there was a bunch of people in the comments saying, well, this is total bullshit because it's in 4x3 letterbox and it's not true 16:9. It shouldn't say it's 1080. Well, it is 1080p. It's just not the same, you know,
ratio.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it, man. I was like, seriously, guys? What are they supposed to do? Reframe every shot to make it widescreen, you know?
Yes. Is the answer to that.
But funny thing is, with Star Trek The Next Generation, it was shot on film, so they can upscale it to Blu-ray easily just by using better scanners on the film. But all of the CGI stuff was done at 480. So when they released the Blu-ray, they literally had to go back and recreate a whole whack of the digital shots, right? And what happens is, because I've been watching them a little bit, and I've got a badass Dolby digital surround sound system, is you're watching the regular show, and it's in like Dolby Pro Logic that's been, let's say, upscaled to Dolby Digital. And you can hear it's okay, it's surround sound, but it's not like the new stuff. But then a special effects scene with ships fighting and stuff happens. And Lord, thunder and Jesus, does the surround sound wake up and become Dolby Digital, because they had to redo the audio for those scenes as well. Right? So
right. They put the effort in on those bits.
Exactly. And every now and then you'll get somebody who like beams onto the bridge and starts a fight or whatever. And all those little laser shots had to be sort of redone and stuff. So you get that big surround sound again. And then it goes back to the old audio. And it's kind of funny because you can hear it if you're listening, right? Yeah. But I will say, Star Trek: The Next Generation, for the most part, is worth a rewatch. It does hold up. There's a few episodes, not so much. Oh my God. I've had to be selective as I go through because I go, oh, I remember that storyline. I'm not going through that again, right? You know?
Yeah, I kind of feel like that with most of Star Trek.
Oh, especially the old stuff. I've tried rewatching it, and to be honest, I can't understand why y'all became Trekkies in the first place because the William Shatner era kind of sucks. Yeah,
Shut up.
it does. It's
How,
you.
how dareth you?
I
I demand satisfaction.
when I go back now, I know I have to look at it through the era of the time it was produced. But when I go back and watch like I'm not sure what would be a contemporary sci-fi of the era. No, you know what? It's not even.
Weren't any.
It's
They were
not even.
terrible.
But it's not even that. You know what it is? It's, and I'm sorry to all the Trekkies out there, but William Shatner sucks. Bones.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Fight
Yeah.
to the death.
And in my defense, I put on the table TJ Hooker, his cop show that sucked.
Yeah, but that wasn't on the Enterprise, so shut up.
No, but I'm talking about William Shatner, the actor. He's the reason that I'm not a big fan of the original Trek. I think the what's his name that played McCoy?
Yeah.
I like him. I like the guy that played Scotty. Obviously, not a technically minded guy, but you know. And I like Sulu and Chekhov. I'm not a big Leonard Nimoy fan, but yeah, I actually think the worst thing that Star Trek ever did was start letting him direct. That was a terrible idea. But
oh my God, you are causing you're creating so many cardinal sins right now.
yeah, but I'm not a diehard, right? But
you will die hard.
But the foundation of what it led or what it laid was very much worth a rebirth, and you know, I'm glad it happened. I have no problem admitting that when I see the old original Star Trek, I can see why their 5-year mission didn't last 5 years. I can see it.
There were some really shit episodes in it. I have to admit. The one where the dudes were black and white, but they had the black and white on different sides, and as such they hated each other, you know. Oh, we're gonna deal with racism.
Yeah, you know. But the Tribbles, somebody in the chat put Tribbles. Where was that? Heather Wiley. Heather, who sent my son all the cool stuff from Mexico. Thanks again, Heather. The Tribbles. The first episode is good. I like it, but the best version of Tribbles is when they put it into DS9. That was fucking amazing, man.
That was brilliant. I loved it. It was like one of the best fan films ever made. It was brilliant.
Yeah, when I first saw that on television, I flipped my fucking lid. How good that was, you know.
But the funny thing about Star Trek is when you look back at it in mid-1960s.
I'm getting in shit in the chat for the Spock stuff, but anyway, go ahead.
So you should be dragged out. You should be fucking keel-hauled on the Enterprise.
Hey, have you ever heard the Leonard Nimoy album where he tried to put out a record of songs? I rest my case. I'm sorry.
Gene Roddenberry was not involved on that one. So that's. Well, you can simply say the same about Shatner as well in his early albums. But anyway,
I was about to. I was literally about to.
You're making my argument difficult now, but the interesting about Star Trek when it came out in the mid '60s, and there were a lot of other sci-fi
but
that were
it's
trying to do like we're all on a spaceship and all this bloody thing. And there's a brilliant one I've got recorded, which was like what is it called? But anyway, it's like the prehistoric women of Mars or something. And they're all on a starship, and all the men are in military uniforms. And they got a deck. They got a deck, a bit like the Enterprise, but cheaper.
Yeah.
And so they're on the bridge, and all the women are the communication officers, and they're in a separate room because that's where they would keep the women to do all this, all the women, all
in
the
their
women
little skirts and their high-heeled boots, and
Well, that's the thing. It didn't have that. It was like very, very bland, but still militaristic. And one thing that Star Trek did is it cut through a lot of what people would visualize the future like. It's the U.S. Air Force, but in space. Or the Navy, but in space. They stripped it just the simple things like the uniforms were just not anything like what you'd normally see.
Star Trek,
basic pajamas,
the original Star Trek laid the foundations that people needed to give us really good televised and movie sci-fi. I totally agree, but
it was just enough of a leap.
Yeah, but it was also just a little bit too early to be as good as it could be. But even still, without visual effects and set design and stuff and whatnot, I personally Nimoy took on a thing that nobody had ever done. This whole I'm not a robot, I'm a humanoid that actually has emotions, but we suppress them and stuff and whatnot. And I guess he did okay and all.
Brilliantly. When you see other people try to be
hold on.
He's so much better at it.
My thing is he wouldn't let go of being Spock, and he had to be in the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and he even did
or not be in it because I don't want to be in it because I'm Spock.
And then him and Shatner had to have their fight to where Leonard Nimoy, not the captain, does Space, the Final Frontier in one of the movies and stuff, and it's just. Those two they got in their own way. It just,
To be fair, there was a lot of infighting.
Oh
and a lot of it was aimed at Shatner. And
to the point
he had a massive ego, and all this kind of stuff.
But
I love him.
But it was to the point where the whole thing in the beginning of what's that amazing spoof on Star Trek that's like a great Star Trek movie, Galaxy Quest.
The Orville.
Oh yeah. But Galaxy Quest, that whole scene where Buzz Lightyear is in the bathroom and he hears them talking about him being a washed up loser, is based on a real story that William Shatner actually lived through.
Yeah. No. William Shatner had a really, really bad time of it.
Yeah.
And he had some really dark areas in his life. And his album, what was the album called? Has Been.
It never was. Fuck.
Oh no, his album Has Been, which was produced by Ben Folds 5. It's an absolutely superb album, and it's really dark, and it's really sad, and it picks out those moments of his life where he was riding the high times.
What was this live? When was this released?
90s, I'm thinking.
Yeah, because Ben Folds 5, like this couldn't have been back in the day, right?
No. It's one of his later. It's his first album. He did a version of Common People. We want to live like common people. He did a version of that, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely superb. So fucking angry. He got it. But anyway, that's besides the point. Because there was a point where Shatner, having done Star Trek and all that kind of stuff, he went through a messy divorce, and he was living in his fucking car.
Yeah, well, after his cop show, what was it called? I just mentioned it. TJ Hooker, right? Yeah. He thought he was like, okay, I had my sci-fi show. It took a few years. Now I got my new show. He thought it was just going to keep going, and all of a sudden it died, man.
Well, until motion picture.
Even then, I don't think Star Trek the Motion Picture is the great revival because it wasn't exactly a box office smash.
It did well.
Yeah, but it did well because everybody showed up to see it, and then everybody walked out and went, holy fuck, that was boring.
I didn't.
I know you didn't, but we're talking about...
There are a lot of people who actually look back at that one and say it was actually really good.
But I think
yes, there are problems with it, but yeah,
I think there's more people that look back on it as good now than there was 3 weeks after the release.
I think. Right? I think one of the problems is
because I remember it was not like Siskel and Ebert or whatever and blah, like nobody, people. It didn't go well. Right,
but there is a thing in modern, just say social media, YouTube or whatever, where it's actually cool to hate on something.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And a lot of people are retro hating on Star Trek motion picture.
But
for the same reason other people say.
Hold on. I agree with that, but I was born in 1970. I saw Star Trek the Motion Picture in the theater, and I left going, what the fuck was that? Because it was some cerebral experience that my, not even 10-year-old person was not wanting. I wanted pew pew, right?
But also other people did that with 2001 as well.
Oh, I remember,
which is considered one of the greatest science fiction movies ever made, which is not, but
no, it's not. But in its day, it was good. But I remember when I was like 8 years old and I saw 2001 for the first time, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me! This is supposed to be good."
But you're right. But you're right about the motion picture. They did go to try to be intelligent and cerebral.
Yeah.
And it did get lost on people because they basically made the film off the back of Star Wars, of the success of Star Wars.
That's right. But
and like you say, a lot of people went pew pew. It didn't happen.
Right. It was the same with The Black Hole by Disney. They went more cerebral instead of Star Wars, and that's not what the public wanted at all. Right? Not at all.
Actually, The Black Hole is a weird one because it didn't quite go cerebral enough.
Yeah,
but it also had the pew pew pews in it.
Yeah,
so it was like an odd mix that didn't actually cross either one of those lines. It was like in the middle.
I liked it as a kid. I was one of the ones that really liked The Black Hole.
I still got a soft spot for it. Yeah,
well, I rewatched it a couple of years ago, and I was like, "What the fuck was I thinking? This is garbage." But it is garbage. Yeah. But I still have a soft spot for the funny little robots, man. Especially the little broken guy.
Yeah. Old Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah.
Them Pickens.
Yeah, the old mean old Maximilian picking on him.
Yeah, and I liked the other one, Vincent, played by the monkey from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. What's his name? Clockwork Orange.
He wasn't in Clockwork Orange,
wasn't he?
No. It was in Columbo. That helped. Oh, what was his name? Oh, fuck's sake! As usual, any other time I could tell you his name, but
Ronnie
Charlton Heston.
Ronnie Vankin in the chat was asking, "What's the movie with Roddy
McDowell?
Yeah, that was Roddy McDowell. Yeah, wasn't he in Clockwork Orange?
No, Malcolm McDowell was in Clockwork Orange.
Oh, okay, right. Ronnie was asking with the HAL 2000 or whatever. That's 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Mm.
Yeah, and then there's a weird scene in 2010: A Space Odyssey, the year we make contact. The second film.
I love that film.
I really like that film as well, but they have this pool that goes into the living room of the house where their kitchen table is on one side and the living room's on the other. And there's this pool and dolphins come in and the child.
I can't remember that bit. This must be the bit before they left.
Hold on. No,
okay.
This is in the beginning of the movie. And the child has a bucket of fish and he's feeding the dolphins. And the mother or the father says, come on, it's time for your supper. And he puts down the bucket, runs over to the kitchen table, sits down, and starts eating after touching the dead fish to feed the dolphins. And this is all like, this isn't CGI. He was literally touching dead fish in a bucket to feed a dolphin and went over to the table and picked up his fork and put some fucking food in his mouth. And I was revolted. I was like, I know I didn't react that way the first time I saw it way back in the day, but when I rewatched it a few years ago, holy fuck, I almost got sick.
That's not a movie problem. That's an OCD problem.
No, it's not.
They might have been eating the same fish.
Yeah, but seriously, if how many people out there are parents? You see your son or your child handling dead fish to feed an aquatic animal. Do you let them pick up a hot dog and start eating it? I was just horrified, man.
I must admit that's not been a problem in our modern life.
That's why. Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't see it the first time, right? But I've got a 17-year-old on the autism spectrum who wouldn't think twice about doing that because he doesn't understand. I have to watch for those things, and holy fuck, did I see it that time?
But what about the dolphins? What do they think?
Yeah. Yeah. Don in the chat says, Dick, you're a germaphobe. No, but after I just said what I said with my son and stuff, you probably get my thing more, right?
It's like you're gonna upset the dolphins now. You go, well, what? You got to wash my hands after feeding me?
Yeah.
What have you just fed me, you bastards?
Yeah. He just wiped his ass with toilet paper and thinks I'm the dirty one. But I couldn't help but notice that.
Thing about 2010. And I loved it to bits, but it's like it doesn't seem to be set in the same world as 2001. 2001 when that everything looked like it's the future. Everyone's got curvy chairs and curvy lamps and stuff, and then you go to 2010, and it's like it's 1980s.
Yeah.
But he's got a recumbent bicycle.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it the future now. Okay, fair enough.
I will.
That was weird how it didn't look like futuristic.
Yeah,
like 2001 did.
It didn't take it forward. It regressed. And I will say, I never thought of that. But set design in 2010 is definitely off because it should have been even more. Right.
Well, like the spacesuit. The spacesuits in 2001. They basically got those big fish head, like helmets on. When you go to 2010, it's basically NASA outfits. Or Apollo. It's just like, what happened? It just went all backwards. And I never understood that design concept where they just
I think especially if I've got a 65-inch television in the living room. It's not a good one, but I got one. When you watch on a big immersive thing like that with surround sound and stuff, 2001 brings you into the moment more than 2010 does. But 2010, the second movie, is easier to just sit down and watch because you're not just listening to classical music as, pretty visuals go by for 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I get that. There's a lot of angst in 2010. Anger with each other, and especially because the war is developing, and there's also like friendships between Americans and the Russians, and the guy who wears the Russian's hat because he's died now, and mate.
And 2010 has Helen Mirren being very cool, so that's a plus right there, right?
Oh, a lot of great people in it.
Yeah, but she's in it, so that's more important.
Yeah, putting in the first film where she stopped taking her kit off. She was famous for that. She was famous for that in her younger years.
Oh, yeah, just like Kristen Scott Thomas. What did Jeremy Clarkson always say? Well, I'm watching one of her movies, so she's bound to do lesbionics soon.
Lesbionics. That sounds very scientific.
Yeah. I think it was a good way of saying it and getting it across on TV without getting edited out.
I'm sure Elon Musk is working on a lesbionic system right now.
Yeah, for his robots. He's watching us. He just got the idea. He's going to make it look like Grimes, but never. I'm not answering any more questions.
Mr. Musk, why do we need to give them a clitoris? For the lesbionics.
Yeah. Yeah, because I have a pole that shoots out of the floor in my private jet. I always thought that was funny in the first Iron Man movie. They take a jet ride, and what's his name that turned out to be a moron? The first roadie is like, I'm not having sake with you. You're a baby, and if you want me to change your diaper, and then they cut the scene. And the girls that were taking care of them on the plane and bringing the drinks and stuff are now dancing around poles as if they're just strippers for hire. And the other guy's all drunk and whatnot. Like, can you imagine? Hold on.
Did you say Iron Man?
Yeah, the first Iron Man movie.
Really? So, I don't remember that.
I do well. So can you imagine what was the classified ad for the job description? Wanted stewardess willing to act like a stripper on a moment's notice. Right?
Yeah, must have greased inner thighs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, right? I couldn't believe that when I saw it the first time. I saw that and I was like, "Come on, that's ridiculous!"
And then the kid touched the pole and went off to eat hot dogs, and you were going, "Oh my god, you just touched that pole! And he's going to eat hot dogs now. You should have what? Bring back the dolphins."
Yeah, are you kidding? Honestly, though. I would not touch a stripper pole and eat a hot dog. That's a truth as well. So I'll just say that.
Well, no way. What about if dolphins were doing the stripper pole?
That would make it doubly.
Do you think we'll ever get to that, to interspecies?
Okay, hold on.
And now for something completely different.
Camel toes. For all your camel towing needs, go to Camel Toes and they'll tow your camel out of a desert. No problem. Camel Toes.
I found another camel toe picture. So far, I found 2 towing companies that are actually called Camel Toe. I put the picture up on one community post. I got another coming up.
See, I did it as a joke.
Yeah.
And all these people around now they go, yeah, he's right. Yeah, camel toes. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Okay, we got a super chat in from Darren Vaughn here. And this is a controversial super chat, but there's a lot to be agreed on this one. So Subdivisions. Actually, I should do Subdivisions by Rush. Best song ever. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, but your understanding of prog rock is Genesis or something ridiculous, right? You know, you just don't get it.
But the best song ever. I mean, no, you can't. No, you can't quantify that in a single term. You can never do that.
I can.
You can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Well, I know you can because you're an idiot. But it's like saying the best movie ever. The best person. The best person ever.
Well, that would be me. That would be me.
Well, no, it wouldn't because you're wrong.
It definitely is.
No, because you'd be wrong again. Votes in the chat. We can set up a poll.
Don't touch it before you eat. It could be dirty.
We'll set up a poll. We'll put dolphins on it. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's no. You can never answer that.
My fridge is empty. I have to get up to get more beer. Hold
on. I need to go for a whiz. Just left me to it. You can't ever do that. You can never say best movie ever. The best. You can't even say who's the best Jesus. You know, because which version? There's no such thing as.
Yes, I can. I can. Before the end of the stream, I will declare the best song ever, and I will be right. So
no, you won't. No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. Anything you can do, I can do better.
No. Because you'll play something stupid by some band that now, hates each other and
rips
off their fans with their reunion tour ticket prices.
Yeah.
And
okay, but how do we quantify it? How do we categorize it into such a way that it can be legitimately considered the best?
Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can. My opinion is more valid than yours.
Yeah. Instant fail.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll do a thing where Dunk and I get the next 5 minutes. 5 minutes of thought. So 10 minutes of chatter to figure out what we will use as our greatest song of all time. I have it already nailed down to 3 in my head, and I just have to figure out the remains. I'm close.
Oh, no, I'm not going to be as crass as pick one, because there are thousands of great songs out there.
Chicken shit.
Well, yeah. Because that's my argument is I don't think you can quantify it.
Never mind. What you do is you quantify it on the moment and you lay it out, and then the next day you listen to the stream back and you go, well, that's not what I'd pick today, but that's how it works because it's all in the moment, right? That's how it works. So I've got, every time I think of this, I get different answers. So we'll see how this works. Actually, no, I was kidding.
You just confirmed.
Yeah, no, I was kidding. I've got 2 picks, and
because what you'll do is you'll have your 3 picks. And then after the stream, you go, oh shit, I forgot about that one. Oh, that was
yeah, but actually, I'm such a music nerd that I go through this 3 greatest songs thought of all time and stuff all the time, right?
I'm sure you fucking wake up doing this.
I kind of do, and so I've got 2 of my picks already, and I'm really close to my third one.
Go on, then. Go. Well. pick your bottom one at the minute.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Number three. Number three.
Should you guys want a taste of the song as we do this? Should we play a little bit of it on air? That sounds about appropriate, right?
If it's so great, they should know it anyway.
Shut your fucking...
No, but is that not true?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to the three most obscure but less heard of best songs ever.
Yeah. No, it's not about obscure, but they maybe don't know, right? So here.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by obscure.
Such a,
It's my job.
Yeah. Well,
this is what you don't pay me for.
yeah. Annette, how the fuck did I end up in this position? Okay. So this is one of my 3 picks for the best song ever. It is none other than Jim Croce with the song Operator. Is it there? No, it's not. There it is.
Operator, or could you help me place this call? See, the number on the matchbook is old and faded. She's living in LA with my best old ex-friend Ray. Gosh, she said she knew well and sometimes hated. Isn't that the way they say it goes? Well, let's forget all that and give me the number if you can find it, so I can call just to tell them I'm fine and to show I've overcome the blow. I've learned to take it well. I only wish my words could just convince.
Okay, so that's song 1.
No, didn't. Nothing happened.
What do you mean nothing happened?
Nothing
It's not
happened.
supposed to cause an erection.
Well, it should do, shouldn't it?
Okay, so what am I bringing up for your song?
I mean,
and I don't mean my lunch.
I'm not. The thing is, I can't. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to bring up songs because I'm not going to compete in this. I did notice that he must have the biggest afro anyone's ever had because it was just like
He's a 70s alcoholic. He probably hasn't brushed that shit in a week, you know?
Yeah, but his head just went like, it just fades to black. The entire back of the screen is black.
That's my biological father, damn. No, I'm just kidding.
So why do you put that at number 3?
Just the song is this guy thinking about this girl that he lost to his best friend, and they moved out to somewhere else, and he calls the operator to try to get their number and kind of loses himself in the moment and realizes maybe that's not the best course of action, and comes out of the fog and away he goes. And it's the storytelling. Jim Croce is one of the best storytellers ever in the history of the world. Done. Shut up. He is.
I am the lineman for the county, and I'm putting up wires. Yeah. It's similar songs. We've heard them 1,000 times before.
Not quite.
I'm not knocking your decision. I'm just saying that it didn't sound to me like anything super special. But okay, go on. That was your number 3.
Yeah. Now,
you want to go to your number 2?
Yeah, number 2 I can't play because it's the Beatles, right? And
we'll sing it.
Yeah, they'll kill us in the copyright thing, right? We'll be done.
Which one?
Which one?
Yellow Submarine, obviously.
Yeah, of course, right? I had the name in my head until Bumble Nuts here fucking threw me off. But What's the one with the big symphony ending and then the big, huge piano chord?
Sergeant Pepper?
It's on that record, but that's not the song. Woke up, got out of bed, dragged a comb across my head.
Yeah,
Day in the Life. Commander Prankster, thank you very much. Day in the Life. That would be my number 2 choice.
Yeah, that's so difficult. So the Beatles back catalog. I'm not too sure I'd pick that one as
yeah, but I would. I would. Right. I love the complexity of the writing in that song and the way they take you through this like daydream experience and then wake you up at the alarm bell. I love that tune. I think it's awesome. It's a
great album. Let's be fair. This is the entire album.
I was
like drug fueled.
Sgt. Pepper's changed everything because I was not even a Beatles fan. And then one day my neighbor gave me that record for my birthday as a present. And I listened to a couple of tracks and I wasn't really convinced. And then I got to the A Day in the Life. And that equated to like Rush 2112 for me, this prog rock symphony that takes you everywhere. And I was just like, holy shit, these guys are, and then I was into it. Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting thing. Dunk on You 23 mentions Comfortably Numb. There's a certain thing about all kinds of bands where you're aware of them. You don't know them, and then you listen to an album, and then suddenly one song from that album will leap out at you and smack you in the face like a big fish.
Oh man, and
a lot of bands do that, and I think Sgt. Pepper's album.
Sgt. Pepper's is one of the perfect albums. And for people that are younger and don't understand the thrill of buying an album and taking it home and sitting down and listening to the whole thing while you're looking at the pictures and reading the liner notes and stuff, it was just, and we didn't care about just the singles. We wanted to be a part of the whole record, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, the album. It was. I used to just love getting an album. Never heard it. Take it home, put it on. Listen to side A, side B, turn it back, side 1, side B. Do it like 10 times. Yeah.
Oh man, I got a few experiences I could go with that. You don't
get that experience on Spotify.
Yeah. Not at all, especially when it's going from band to band to band. And every band's sound is compressed right up into the max. And there's no dynamics. They don't take you on a journey anymore. It's just booch, booch, boom, boom, big chorus line that you can remember to sing while you're stocking shelves somewhere or whatever you do,
I've got some very obscure albums I just fell in love with, but just by listening to them, and it's not the sort of thing you can just skip about.
What I miss when it comes to the album is the concept record, the Frank Zappa's Joe's Garage, where the story continues from song to song and whatnot. What's his name? The keyboard player from Yes. And he did Return to the Center of the Earth as a big staged production that you could go and watch. And Patrick Stewart even narrated it for the recording and whatnot. It was awesome.
We better forgot William Shatner, but that's another argument.
Oh, God.
I knew that would trigger you. Okay, number 1.
Yeah, I like Patrick Stewart very much. I'm quite the fan.
Big wuss. Number 1. Come on.
Number one, I'm having a problem on. Now, these number 3, 2, and 1, they were not in order. They're just 3 songs, right? But I'm having a big problem because it's 2 songs that I cannot decide between. No, right? And
so we should have started number 4 and number 3, and then they'll get now.
well,
2 and 1.
I'm really wishing that I had 4 slots now instead of 3. But
This is the problem I was talking about earlier. But
carry on. But I'm still keeping it close, right? So one of the 2 would be Iron Maiden, Hallowed Be Thy Name, which is definitely one of the best songs ever recorded in the history of the world. It's got a great story. It's got melody, harmony. It takes you places. It's unbelievable. And then there's Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb. And both of them are...
Because you got reminded of that.
Yeah, and well, I did. But it's not that I got reminded, because David Gilmour is one of my favorite guitar players of all time, and Comfortably Numb has some of the greatest guitar work, not for virtuosity and showing off like Steve Vai or somebody would, or Al Di Meola.
Slow.
It just sings like you can hum the goddamn guitar solo. It's like a human voice. It's so fucking good. It blows your mind, you know? But Hallowed Be Thy Name by Iron Maiden is just like, I remember sitting down to learn that tune, and then I had some musicians in the band that could actually play it, and oh, it was just heaven when you pull that song off right. Oh my God, to be a part of that moment, even to, you know, it was just
this is why I always say it's always difficult, because you talk about Company Numb. I was throwing Wish You Were Here.
Yeah. Oh, Darren Vaughn in the chat says
again. You just like they're both
and a bunch of things off of Brick in the Wall. And Darren Vaughn in the chat says no rush, boo. Literally, Red Barchetta by Rush is my favorite drum track of all time. If you're a drummer, sit down behind your speakers, flip the stereo left and right so that the hi-hat's on the correct side and whatnot, and visualize trying to play the song Red Barchetta, and then call me after the ambulance shows up so you can have oxygen fed to you, right? You know,
talking about ambulances, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I need to go for a Riley right now. Otherwise, I need an ambulance.
But yeah, Rush is literally Rush. Who is it that said that? Darren. Rush is one of those bands that changed my life. They turned me into the musician that I was as a working musician for years in my life. I remember listening to some bands like Kiss and stuff when I was like 6, 7 years old, whatever, 1976, 77, you know, that kind of thing. And then my father came home with Rush 2112, the album. And we put it on the downstairs stereo, and it was like Nakamichi, and we had some amazing gear back in the day. My dad was right into this. And 2112, the whole first side, where it's just one big long song that tells the story, it changed my world. And at that moment, I decided that I would be a musician, because I had to be a part of creating something that freaking cool. It was everything. Yeah. Yeah, Kevin Woldridge in the chat. Neil Peart was a god among drummers, R.I.P. Absolutely, the professor himself. I mean, I only know how to play a drum kit from visualizing how to try to play his tracks and then sitting down behind the drummer's drum kits that were in my bands over time and actually realizing how much harder it was when there's real drums in front of you, but figuring it out. And I was never good enough to play Neil Peart stuff really, but what it taught me was when I got onto a computer to be on like Cubase or one of those sequencing programs, and I was programming drums so I could write songs, I always made sure that it was humanly possible and whatnot with the way that the body works to play the track. And it always helped us have a not a drum machine sounding track in the background, right? You know, it was much better off. But yeah, Rush kind of dictated how I was going to be. Like, we're on the train to Bangkok aboard the Thailand Express, you know, we've been smoking Lebanon and all that stuff. I was listening to that. And then 2 years later, I was trying pot and whatnot because, hey, sounds like a good thing to do. They seem to enjoy it. No.
Oh, so rock and roll, did it send you down a dark path?
Yeah, kind of, you know. I wouldn't call it a dark path.
So they were right.
Yeah, no, but I don't think they were, because what you might call a dark path, I had an excellent existence. I wouldn't trade for anything. So,
yeah, it's just Elvis Presley and his shaking legs. It just sent you off down that path of rock and roll evil.
Yeah, maybe not.
Repent. We're gonna get Greg Terry to come on and bless you and
I'll be the
circumcise you. No, what you call it?
Easy now. Once is enough, motherfucker. You know, there's nothing left to give.
Cleanse your spirit.
Yeah, no, actually, when I was a kid, the first time I took guitar lessons, the guy was teaching me Elvis songs and stuff, and I was like, "This is fucking boring." I you know, yeah.
I want to play Mozart.
I was not an Elvis fan until about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I think. No, 3 years ago. You know, it's maybe even 2 years ago. But I got my son.
I'm sure it wasn't through much watching his movies.
Yeah, well, you know, but I got my son a record player for Christmas a couple of years back, so we could start a vinyl collection, right? And we went over to the one store that actually has brand new 120 gram, nice thick vinyl for sale. They're like $50 or whatever, right? And oh yeah, they are. But I got an Audio Technica table with a good cartridge and stylus and stuff, so it's worth it. And we have a Onkyo home theater. So it's, you know, it's not bad.
I got a wonky home too.
Yeah. And so we get home and we get to the store, and Felix wants an Elvis record that has Jailhouse Rock. And it's like $49. And I'm like, really, buddy? Is this what you want? You know? And he was like,
we could eat for a week.
yeah. Well, probably, but you know, it was his money, you know. So we got the record, we brought it home, we put it on, and he was as happy as a pig in shit. Right? Loved it. Listened to both sides a few times. We were rocking out in the house. It was great.
Hang on. Was it a compilation?
Yeah, but stop. No, it was a proper Elvis record, right? Okay. One of his early ones. And so then when he's done, he goes upstairs to his bedroom where he's got like a TV and his computer and all that shit, right? It's a teenager's dream. He gets me to put on his TV the Blues Brothers movie. And about an hour into it, he cranks it up because they're singing Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah, right at the end.
Right, and that's why he wanted the damn record.
Did he? Was he disappointed because he wanted their version of it?
Oh, actually, he was happy as a pig in shit because it was the real Elvis version. When a couple of days later, when he was over at his mother's, I checked in his browser history, and he had been watching the real versions of the Elvis songs, so he knew what he was getting. But I was proud of him. You know, of all the things a kid my age could ask for, he wanted Elvis. I mean, that's not a bad day, right? You know?
Because I got the Blues Brothers album, and obviously they do a lot of covers. And I really do like their versions of the covers. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, going back to the original.
Belushi is such a natural entertainer that he can pull the songs off. It's unbelievable when you listen, isn't it?
What's the song he did? It was like a real heartbreaking one. I can't remember which one it was.
The ballad, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, it just cuts deep like a fucking knife.
Yeah, my son is a massive Belushi fan. In his room, he's got a picture of the two of them as the Blues Brothers on the wall. He's got a box with their picture on it, and it's a puzzle. He's never opened it because he doesn't want to. He's just happy to own it and have it on the shelf. But we've got a few Blues Brothers things. He
got blow it Belushi.
Yeah, he's starting a collection of like die-cast, nicer, expensive cars, and he's got a couple of Back to the Future cars, and he's got a really nice one of Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters, and we've been lucky, and we found those at decent prices. But
has he got the Bluesmobile?
No, this is the thing.
That would be a great part of his collection.
Yes, but the Bluesmobile was issued years ago, and they're now like $250. Right? I don't have $250, man. It's not happening, you know. So I was thinking maybe I could find. Yeah, but it is just a police car, right?
Yeah, I mean, just get a police car and put a bit, take, and then just put a big fucking speaker on the top of it. There you go.
You know, yeah. Right, I should be able to, but an old police car that looks like that one, they're not even easy to find now, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to have to be Illinois.
Yeah, but it's one of the things he really wants on his collectible shelf. His collectible shelf is a very special thing, and the stuff that Heather Wiley in the chat sent him from Mexico is on there. And Teresa sent him a couple of VHS copies of movies he likes that are up there, and a few other people have sent him stuff. But it's for his collect. Remember
it's a little shrine.
Remember that fucking bus, Dunk? Oh my God, the cost of that bus. Oh my God,
that fucking bus. Because when I'm 90 years old and I'll be talking to older Felix, I'll go, you know how much I paid for that fucking thing? Yeah. It came as a broken box, and I had to get back to the guy and get this guy to send a new box, and it came in, it was the wrong size, so we got to send another one. And, oh my God.
Felix got it in his head. Then he had to have this collectible bus for nerds that collect models of city buses that was in pristine collection of the Ireland shuttle bus that takes you to the airport. Dublin. Yeah. Dublin.
Yeah. I can give you the fucking serial number if you want.
Yeah. So I looked it up online, and it was ridiculous amounts of pounds. And then when you convert that to Canadian, it was literally, so Felix can have his toy and we don't eat for a month, right?
And has to give up a lung.
Yeah. Right. So I was complaining about this, and Dunk stepped in and took over and made it happen.
Yeah, but what was funny about that was just like, he wants like a British bus, and it was like sending him images of like a London bus. Yeah, it's a London bus. You get one of these for like £5 from the charity from the local tourist shop. You go, no. I want the Dublin airport shuttle bus.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And it
And
doesn't.
there were only two of them.
Yeah.
There were only two of them available in the entire world.
Yeah. Or you remember the shirt that I had to import from Romania? Right? It was my son is an absolute fanatic of this actor called Eugenio Derbez. He's a Mexican guy, and he was the guy who plays the crazy dude in the Dora the Explorer live action movie. My son loves that guy. He finally
he played the backpack.
Yeah, my son been looking online for years. He finally found the exact shirt that this guy wore in the Dora the Explorer movie, and I had to import it from Romania. It was I would bring up pictures, but this one's so close. No, I want that one. But that one. Yeah, but it ended up only being $74 American imported to Canada, which was like, $105 or whatever. And to be honest, he doesn't grow anymore. Like he's 6'1", or he doesn't grow anymore. So
$74 American would buy me a whole new wardrobe of clothes because I'm so cheap.
Yeah, well, so am I. I mean, I wear plain T-shirts, right? Because they're $5 a piece. But he will, it hangs in a, it's almost not clothing to him. It's a possession, right?
He doesn't wear it.
Oh, he only wears it now and then, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I knew it was worth it to get it, and to see his face when he unboxed it, it was very much like when I think it's Heather in the live chat when she sent him up the stuff from Mexico and he unboxed it and saw that cool multi-painted Mexico skull thing. It was funny too. He unboxed that on a morning when he was having a bit of an autistic day and things weren't really working out for him. And so he wasn't the most vibrant person that morning, but a couple hours later I went up to his room to check on how he was doing, and he had reshuffled his room and put the Mexico stuff up, and he had Eugenio Derbez movie playing on his thing. It was really cool.
What's funny about what you're talking about, Felix, there is like, do you not see the connection between you and him?
I do very much.
Because we were talking earlier about what is the best song ever, and you could pick in your mind what were the best songs. Ask me, I can think of 1,000 songs which could possibly be the best song. Yeah. But you have the same kind of mentality that you can decide, and that's it. That's the song. Whether you're right or wrong is irrelevant. You know what I mean?
When my son was like 3 years old and he was in like a preschool group, the woman said, your son exhibits a few traits from the autism spectrum. I was like, really? I didn't notice anything, and
the crappy YouTube channel.
Well, to me, I always knew what he was up to, so I didn't see a problem, right? But we talked to another educator girl, and she was a friend of the family, and she was like, well, I'll come over because I work with those kind of kids, right? So she came over and hung out with us, and she was like, yep, I see some tendencies too. I was like, really? Okay. So we went and got him assessed and whatnot, and he was on the autism spectrum. But during the assessment, there was a couple of times when the pediatrician we were working with said, oh, you see that behavior? That's blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but he's doing this. And then again it happened, and again it happened. And then the woman said to me, I wouldn't doubt that I could assess you, because this makes sense to you, but to nobody else, And that's when I started to look back on some behaviors from my teenage days and whatnot and so on. And realized why I was always just a little on the side of things,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was the same with my kids, when you like realize, they're all all of them are on the spectrum. And you go, oh, okay, really? And you look back at yourself. Dunk, you were fucking obsessed with Star Wars. You couldn't fucking shut up about it. You talk about it all the time. Oh, I wonder what that is.
Yeah.
Even when people were bullying you at school because you kept talking about Star Wars. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. And the same with my wife as well. She realizes she needs to get a what would be the word? But
better husband.
Well, that Good luck with that because you struck gold here. But
okay, I'll give you that for sure.
But it's weird that that we can also like look back and go, you know what? Yeah, we were fucked up in the same way as these kids are, and we recognize that we were all on the spectrum. And,
I had that singular focus where if I'm in something, that's it, and so on. And I have this weird thing where I can have dishes in my kitchen and it's all kind of unkept and stuff because I didn't do anything that day. But everything in my living room has to be in its exact place. But it's because it's the things I care about, not everything. It's selective OCD and it's very strange, right?
It's like your front room could be full of washing and piles of clothes.
It is right now.
But your desk.
Oh, if everything isn't exactly where I need it, I can't even do the show, right?
Or even just fucking when you're organizing your windows.
Oh my God, it's within a pixel, right?
I'm telling you guys, when Dick is talking about when his arrangement on the screens, I really don't need to know, but he needs to tell me. That I got this here, I got this there.
But it makes a difference. It really does.
Don't start crying.
No, but
I don't want to make you come to tears.
No, but it really does make a difference. Like it helps, right?
To you, it does.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing because it's always about the individual. It's like. What do you need? What do you want out of life? What do you?
When you say that,
it doesn't matter if someone else disagrees with you because it's like it doesn't matter.
No,
because it's what you need.
No, but hold on. It's funny you say that because I'm better at assessing what somebody else needs to get them the right microphone for their environment than I am for myself.
That's because you're on the spectrum.
Yeah, right. I overthink it to the point of stupidity. But when somebody else needs advice, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, well, what are you in? Okay, what are the dimensions? Blah, blah. What do you got in the walls and stuff? Okay, you need this, right? And I'm always right, No,
you are always right. And that's why it drives you absolutely fucking insane when people will argue with you. Oh, no, I don't need that. I'm just happy on this game headset that I got. It's got a lot of microphone, comes out on a stick. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I lose my fucking shit.
He literally has physical pain.
Oh yeah,
having conversations like I've been there and I've heard these conversations with him. And it's hilarious. It's
crazy.
Sorry, it's not the right word. It's not hilarious.
It is. I'm sure. Not for me, but for you, I bet it is.
No, not for me either, because I have to listen to you moaning about it.
Well, you could blame it on your wife and bug her off. You're just too stupid.
I wouldn't blame on it.
But I do. I
mean, we all must be dealing with this sort of stuff as adults. We're all grown ups here.
I'll be an adult one day.
Yeah, but I say adult by just by sheer fucking age, not by mental. but all these people, the people we've found in this community and people in the chat, we must all look at these sort of things we talk about. And go, yeah, I recognize that in me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we must all be doing that now.
Especially the ones that are still watching, because we've been live for 3 hours and 20 minutes. So if you're not bored of us by now, you're definitely on the spectrum, because you are locked into the point where you can't break away. No, I'm kidding, but
we're very, very sorry.
Yeah,
because if you weren't watching us, you'd have to go and watch some other shit awesome.
Oh, you know what? Look at it this way. We're keeping you from watching somebody debunk something stupid like flat Earth. So, no. But how do you know the Earth isn't flat? They're called satellites, rockets. Yeah.
My eyes.
Yeah. You could be watching a show that was secretly produced in the background by Giorgio Tsoukalos. So think about it. We've done you and your progeny a favor.
Well, that's a positive spin on things. Yeah, we'll go with that.
So let's leave the viewers with good consumer advice, because
let's try again. Come on, yeah. You got to come with a good one this time. Go
So,
on.
three-wheeler vehicles could be good for the economy and the environment as it pertains to usage of fuel and or electricity. But for the love of God, put the third wheel at the back, not the front.
Can I just point out why do most animals have 4 legs? They don't have 3 legs. There's a reason for that.
It's probably a good point. I would actually.
You've got a dog with 3 legs. That's not natural.
I would like to point out before we go that the reason in the UK you get so many 3-wheel cars is the UK was smart enough to classify a 3-wheeled vehicle as a motorcycle, and that's why it happened.
Yeah, easier license apparently.
It saved you about 50 quid a year, but you risk death to do it. So that's a thing. We've got a Dunk on You 23 in the chat, gifting out 5 Shills memberships. All right. I think that was 6, but oh well. Well, there's a weird latency when I hit the effect. So I hit the button and I try to count how many times I hit with my finger, but my brain clicks into the sound and it's a tiny bit later and it just fucks me up. So here. 5. There.
just going to point out, PJC that is still up. He is going to be in the Shills private chat tonight, so go onto the Discord and have a chat with him, and he'll convince you why the Earth is flat. And
he actually said he's doing tonight's OnlyFans performance in the Discord, so that'll be something to watch.
You're gonna have to put the sheep costume.
Oh yeah, you might get to watch somebody resolder the capacitors on an old computer. Could be cool.
You see, he's not be getting some sleep after this. You should have been sleeping through it, Dick. PJ.
I should be sleeping now. We should say thanks to everybody who helps and supports us in the background, like our team.
We should, but we won't.
No, we should, because we've got Annette, PJ CNET, Shayna Caldwell, Chris Lundy, and Super Chat Matt, and they all put it on the line to look stupid along with us so that we can entertain you. So we should give them some credit, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. I mean, we everybody shows up here because they think we're going to do something stupid, and they must figure our mods are, kind of the same. So they're not, but they play a great game. So we should salute them for acting stupid.
Thank you for your service. Yeah, all the stupidity rubs off.
Oh, and if it rubs off too much and it's on your carpet, I'm sure we can get a steamer for that. So,
Next fundraiser.
Remember, if you're standing in line for a job interview and you have your hand in your pocket, you shouldn't be playing pocket pool because somebody over on the side is going to catch you.
Oh, I just usually have a wank.
Strokey Wokey is in the house. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Good night, my fellow babies. Sleep tight. Sleep cute and sweet in your little coves of loveliness, and we'll see you on the next one.
I'm scared for my life.
It's over. Go home. Go.